Once again, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you join us from. We say welcome to the Borderland Liberia. My name is Jamal Kamara. Welcome to live from the city of Manchester. I got one to know my colleague, please seated in city of UK, London, also from the city of Norway, and also in Manchester, close by here. Is I got my colleagues who will be joining. Got a lot of things to bring you tonight. Also not forget, will be our man tonight with us, Paul the Lord Play from the Court of King James. Will be giving you some international information. Good to be with us. Got a lot of stuff. One good thing we do here, we always dive into newspapers, which is our sources here. So we will never go wrong. So we always hold the newspaper responsible. You may have read the news. We know we do the newspapers. We kind of we do it. We make it in a way that you can digest it. We go through it. We navigate it. The story, whether you follow political development, whatever the story is. So sure, stay connected, stay informed, get to the borderline. Once again, welcome our colleagues, guys. Let's take it through. Linford, how are you today? Welcome from the city of Kingdom of Norway. How are you today from your end?
Well, all is all fine from my end. Today is being Tuesday. It's a new week, so the week just started. Everything is still okay. The middle of the week from Wednesday to Thursday, then we know now that we are inside the week, right? We just started yesterday, so today is the second day. Tomorrow will be the third day. But weather-wise, it's bad. The weather report, the past week was bad. A little bit of rain, and then yesterday was a little bit all right. Today, early morning from 11 o'clock until way tonight is rainy. Tonight, I think 10 o'clock in the next 1 hour, it will be raining. Then tomorrow will be okay, dry but gloomy. So, because we are transitioning from the fall from the spring to the summer. So we have this unstable weather. But other than that, everything else is good. Health is good. And we are here.
Yeah, we'll go around and welcome other colleagues from then we'll take a quick break. We'll take a minute break, take another commercial break, then we'll take you through what we get for you tonight. Then we'll go to the Bible said the court of King James, the Lord, the friend of King Charles. Welcome and man from our international decks. How are you today, sir? Paul, the Lord, are you okay?
Good evening, gentlemen, and good evening to our audience. If you all can hear me, this is the Lord Cholopidic, the friend of King Charles. It's good to be back here today, and we're going to have a very, very good discussion, and we're asking our audience to kindly share the show. Gentlemen, it's good to see you all again.
Thank you very much. You join our own man. I always call you National Security Advisor. His Excellency is the one of our senior man, always senior advisor to us here. Welcome. You're always going to be a regular face on this show, whether you like or not, what have me. So more like him this time, we'll bring you on. Young how are you, sir? Welcome to the borderline once again. And what do you get for tonight, boss?
Yeah, thank you very much for allowing me to be part of the program tonight. I'm really, really delighted to be part of Borderline, and I wish to be available at all time. And to my end here, it's been raining through us. Since this morning, it's been raining. Everything is getting too cool at this stage. So, but however, things are not too bad at all. Really, I'm I'm glad to be here.
All right, thank you very much. So we'll take a quick break and we'll tell you what we got on our menu tonight. From here on, Paul, take us through what we got tonight. Take a musical break from there, have a commercial break, and we'll take you through our menu for tonight. So, Paul, be in charge.
Good evening, gentlemen, and to our audience, good evening. Today is another edition of the Bottom Line. We'll be looking in depth of what is happening around the world, interesting information coming out. We'll also be going to the newspaper in Liberia to pick a few important articles that we discuss. And then we will end the show with our commercial. So guys, stay tuned. Interestingly, we'll have things, we're going to start internationally and then we'll end with the local. The local is Liberia. Liberia always have news. We'll look at the Edwin Snow scenario. What's going on with the government? Is that a government of propaganda or the government of seriousness? We'll dive into that. Is the government that is failing the people that don't have agenda? Is that why they're going after people who want to unseat them in 2029? We'll have a discussion here tonight on that. Is Liberia government or serious government, or we'll make the comparison analysis with Joseph Nima Boyka, His Excellency, and the former president, the inexperienced president George Manuel Weah, between the two of them to see who is a good leader between those two. In my mind, I think they were the two least incompetent people that have been elected to be president of Liberia. And today, for 50-year experience shown to us that experience is not there. So we'll be diving into this. So far, we'll go straight into our national anthem while we share the show. Or God will take a commercial and get straight into international, because we have a lot of information flowing all around. We'll look at the situation in Gaza. Why is it Israel is now forced to open the corridor for food to enter? Is that, and then Hamas yesterday agreed to some ceasefire. We'll look at that. Russia has now stepped out the gear into Ukraine. The West now is jittering, so they want to add additional weapon, more sophisticated weapon they want to give to Ukraine. And I don't think if this happens, gentlemen, we live in the West, we should start buying our ticket to start flying from here to Africa, because it looks like something nasty going to happen in Europe. So that's it. So let's take a commercial break and then go straight into our thing. So, gentlemen, this is our main sponsor on the bottom line.
Di Lorenzo, G Grace, Hems Vocal, Liberia #1 Vocal, Liberia #1, right? Okay.
The phrase, "a new sheriff is in town," does not only belong to law enforcement. How about the introduction of Liberia's premier vodka, a quality and customized liquor for all occasions? Try the flavor of your choice. Hems Vodka, Hems Honey, Hems Bitter, and Hems Original Vodka. Hems Vodka has no hangover. That's why they say Papa drink, Mama happy. Hems Vodka is sold in all stores, shops, supermarkets, and entertainment centers in Liberia. For wholesale, contact Hems Vodka at 0777 001114, 0777 000 979. We can also be reached via social media on Facebook and IG at Hems Vodka or www.hemsvodka.com. In the United States, please contact Hems North America Incorporated at 610-543-9289, 484-888-1622, 484-755-8411. Hems Vodka is approved by the U.S. federal government. Hems Vodka brings out the real man in you.
I tell you in my boy, in my blood. Every time when I stay on the block, everybody knows it. We are stand. And forgot that #1. Oh, from Liberia all around. In supermarket store and everywhere. And forgot that #1. Oh.
Hems Vodka.
The government
When
of
Papa drink,
propaganda
Mama
or the
happy.
government of seriousness.
When Mama drink, when Papa drink, Mama happy. What a great commercial. Hems Vodka, the #1 sponsor of the bottom line. Gentlemen, welcome to the bottom line discussion. To our viewers, for those of you joining us for the first time, welcome to the bottom line discussion. Kindly share the show. Today it will be firing. We want a lot of good discussion. Kindly share the show. Jamal, what say you? Guys,
Thank you very much. We want to.
Pardon
Yeah,
me.
thank you.
Guys.
You say how we're going to go through the international news. We want to do that. How we're going to go to the Liberian news for what we got on the Liberian agenda. So we can go through that and then we'll make what do you want to do?
So the Liberian news, we call it the local news, will be the last. So let's start with something here interesting while our followers sharing the show. But man,
Yeah.
something dramatic happened yesterday. And this, I'm going to put this on, and I want your view on this. President Macron of France. Let me put this on, and then we can have.
The French president has touched down in Vietnam with a smack, quite literally speaking. As the doors to his plane slid open, the world got a direct shot of Emmanuel Macron receiving a slap to the face from his wife. The First Lady then steps into frame, apparently refusing to hold her husband's hand as they make their way down the steps in Hanoi. Well, Paris claims the presidential couple was, quote, relaxing before an official event. Macron himself has downplayed the incident, calling the slap a joke that's been blown out of proportion by the media.
Dialogue, le plus grand forum asiatique sur la défense, prise au milieu des rivalités entre...
Gentlemen, looking at that, this is the French president that landed in Vietnam. For some reason, he got a smack on his face by his wife. That's something I pick on a video, and I want your view. If this were the other way around, that President Macron has slapped his wife, isn't that would be women's solidarity around the world that will ask Macron to step down? Leave for Padodi, your view on what you saw on this thing. It happened yesterday when a woman slashed on her husband, the president of France. I will start with you, Padodi.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I want to get the characters of this particular story that you just talking about. Because what the photo I saw, that Macron had a finger mark right on his chin. Is the woman that slapping or he slapped the woman? Did you get me?
So, yeah, hearing you.
Yeah, because what the photo that I saw in the news and stuff is the finger mark on the chins of the president. So I don't know. You are saying that he might have slapped the wife. So I don't know whether the woman also intend slapping her. I mean, slapping him again.
No, so the thing is, when you open an airplane door and the camera called this woman latching, slapping her face. So that was the capture, but then the French media, I mean the presidential people saying that, oh, it was just a normal joke between the couple. But then when they were coming down, the woman refused to take Macron's hand to get down the plane. So she was angry. Now, the thing is, by her slapping or pushing Macron, the other way around, if Macron have used his hand to slap or push her, today he will resign from his job. Because if the other way, there will come in what we call the women's solidarity, that you cannot be violent to a woman. But this time it's a woman that's slapping the president. So what say you?
All right. Now I got a story now. These are some of the things that we've been talking about is the women are dominating the world today. You see, they are getting more powerful every day in the modern society. Today, I know, people don't lay their hand on their women, whether indoor or outside, in the part of the world. Maybe that thing can happen in Africa and he can go away. But in Europe, in America, you test a woman, you go to good jail. So I think it's a time now for men to stand friendly, to advocate for our right, because I think our right need to be prevailed. That's my opinion. We need to start a campaign to at least to campaign for our right to be prevailed.
Okay. So, Linfa, what say you? This Macron, for some reason, Macron has been beaten in Africa by Ibrahim Traoré, by this guy in Niger and Mali. And now his wife beating him. Are you feeling sorry for this Macron? Is that should we take side with Macron now of men's solidarity? Because it was Macron slapping that woman today, he will not be president. What say you?
Well, the issue for President Macron and his wife, nobody knows exactly what happened. The press, the media is only looking for something as usual, and sometimes people blame the media. Oh, the media let to, but if you do journalism, you know that the field of journalism is not that polished field. It's not a romantic profession where you romanticize things or what. You always look for the unusual. Joe Walker is president of Liberia, right? If Joe Walker resigns today and then we elect a dog as president, the resignation of Joe Walker will not be anything much because we know it's a normal thing. The press will not go after that. The media will be that after the president resigns, they elect a dog as president. So people will want to go after that dog story. Press will go after that dog story. So that's why they're doing to Macron, because it's unusual that his wife or woman would slap a man in the public. But again, what if it was Paul Triple that was slapped by his wife on London High Street? Who will get time? Nobody will say maybe two of them wrong. You see, but because Macron is president. So, but to answer your question directly, I don't think I can take side with Macron or even take side with the woman. It's their domestic issue. It was only exposed or only extended it to the street. Who knows that they have not been fighting in the bedroom before they even came out? But then how does that concern me? How does that concern the public? How does that concern the French people?
Not concerning per se, but if Macron has slapped her today, will he be president?
No, you gotta look at it two things. The first thing, they are married. Right? The two of them are humans. So if Macron slapped the wife, where he slapped her will matter. In the street, fine. That is bad. That is bad moral. Why? Because Macron is president. But because the woman is not president, so she can slap Macron. What if it was the woman who was the president and Macron was just the first gentleman, two of them working, she slapped Macron? Will she resign too? So you got to look at it that way. That what happened is their domestic thing. It's not like.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not affecting the public, but they want to make issue out of it. So the thing
oh my God.
Because the reason why I'm saying this, you remember the ball call between the musician and Rihanna. I think they call him they not picking because he slapped her.
Chris Brown.
It went wild. There was pressure on him. Women solidarity.
Chris Brown.
Women, although that their domestic thing, or women solidarity got him into serious trouble until the girl left him. So if the other way around, that President Macron has slapped his wife, today he will not be president. That's the thing I see, because this where the women's solidarity will come into play. Oh, how can he be his wife? How can he do this? But on the other side, will say no, it's already the people that domestic things. So that's why it just. I don't know where you're talking on the Jamal.
You got to look at it in two ways. Macron is president. You see?
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he carries weight, because he's president. But if he was just ordinary guy, he will not make that much headline. But because he's president.
Can I say a little bit about this issue here? Well, because the way Lanford looking at the situation is the opposite way to us. Are you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. What Paul is saying, Lamford is not about the domestic issue. It's about how we are being suppressed by the women in the world today, more especially in the Western world. How are we being suppressed by the women? How the women have been so powerful to a extent that they can beat us, nothing come out of it. You understand what I'm saying? Because same
Okay,
thing
okay, okay.
happening in Africa.
If I
You
should address
understand?
it,
The
if
men,
I
the
should
men are
address it,
beating the women, nothing come out of it. So in the West, the women are beating the men, and nothing coming out of it.
yeah, but
So
if
what
I
we
should
say,
address
those
that
are order
context,
in West. We need to. This is the time have come now for all to start campaigning that we should not be molested by our women or by any woman for that matter.
no, you got to look at it this way. Let me address it from that context where the men will feel that they are being dominated by the women or whatever. Now there is something called equality. Now you can't tell me. You see, what if you are my friend and I punch you in the street? Does that mean I'm overlooking you? No. It's just that you can, from all indications, I want to believe that it's wrong also. Like in some countries, I don't want to limit it to Africa, but in most countries, people can beat their wives. Imagine this is the woman. There are thousands of men out there, millions of men, and this woman chose you as her husband, and also you chose her as a wife among the millions of women out there. So if you start beating her and doing all kinds of things, just look at the humanitarian side. You are being abusive. Is that your child? Now in Norway, now people will say I'm being brainwashed, but I got to learn that in Norway. You see, no man is equal to woman. No woman's strength not equal to man. The woman can be challenged or and the men not equal. So you got to have that mindset. But again, it depends on the setting. Where in Africa, if a woman shout at you, you feel like you are being overlooked. Your friend men will say, "Oh, look at the man pipe. No, what can I shout at him?" But we get a joke in Norway. We say we are few living things in Norway. Woman, let's say children, women, elderly people,
And
dogs,
dogs.
and men. We are five living things in Norway. So the five living things, the one that got the best right are children. Next, are women. The third are elderly people. The fourth, the animals, and the fifth one, we the men, we are at the bottom of the ladder. So we know our place. So we know, and even to that point, a half or two men to even fight in Norway. You know how we can fight. You shout at the man, you look at the man, maybe you cut your eye, you stick, or you just shout and you move on. But if you face the first point
So,
in front of your
so
friend,
Linford, you just
Uh,
answer the question. The men
yeah,
at the bottom of the queue. So this
yeah,
is the
yeah.
thing I'm saying. If
And
the
that is to
welcome friend
balance it.
say,
That is
this
so
is
thank
what
you.
I was saying. If it
that is
was
to
the
balance
other
it.
way around,
Look,
so
I
friends are
I think
welcome. We just start.
thank you. Yeah, I've been following anyway. Look, the optics that what matters, Macron and his wife, they were caught with their pants down. There's no way the French uh, government can fix that, because if there was just a mere joke or a mere, uh, what happened, late alteration between them, the lady refused to pull her arm, for him and for him to carry her down the stairs. And being the president, that's a headline, that's a caption. It was on the Sky News, it was on the BBC, it was on CNN. So
That's why I said because he's president.
at first I saw it, I thought it was a joke, but then I went there. Sky News had it, BBC, CNN, he called it, various outlets. But anyway, that it was, a little bit wrong. I mean, not it was a little bit, it was wrong for the lady, for his wife to, as you said, Liva, we don't know what what is happening in the bedroom behind the scenes. So I would tell you that look, from our flight, they fly from all the way from France to I think they went to Vietnam. It was an absolute chaos on our
Vietnam.
Yeah, it was absolute chaos on our flight. But anyway, I mean, they got that problem to solve. They happy they married. You know, he married the woman 20 years older than him or so. So yeah.
Yeah, but okay, guys. Let me just bring some light. I mean, fun to the discussion, right? Number one, Francis just struck a good point. That woman is 20 years older than Macron. So imagine the woman can look at him 20 years. If you born a child 20 years child, are men. So the woman can look at him and say, well, this boy could be my son. And women naturally, even if you marry a woman younger than you, 20 years younger than you, at some point in life when you live together for long, she'll feel that you're equal. When you talk one thing, she'll talk two. Women got that charisma, that characteristics. They feel bossy and for some reason, probably because they can born us or whatever. So they always like to, be equal to men. So, and for when it comes to the point where you say we men are the lowest of the ladder, is simply because we get men are generally the mature people, the macho men, the macho people. So you can't put them equal with women, then it will be chaos. You say one word, they want to say two words, then you jump on, you start fighting. Instead, you'll be here. So they do that to regulate. The law do that to regulate the power.
Let's close there on Jamal. Let's close there on Jamal because I'm very sorry from Jamal. This guy, the woman that he's school teacher, 20 years old.
The fun thing I wanted to Toronto, you stopping me. The fun here is Macron that young.
But get to the phone, Jamal can come, so okay.
Yeah, I come in now. I come in. Give me your brother. Macron that young boy. They they got long time, and probably they got bang. You see that somewhere, you see some young get a person looking at the woman say, stop it. You want to stop? Say, I know what to do with you. Why you slapping? Yeah, just to make it look funny,
Jamal, what say you? I think this guy, I think the young president, the 20-year-old woman, long been beating a guy indoors. They just happen to come out in the public. What say you? Domestic violence on the French president. I feel sorry for him.
I think for me, the person has been saying that he dismissed the speculation they were fighting. He came out of the plane, they asked him, he said he and his wife were horsing around. I don't know what you mean by that. They were playing around, so they were playing. As far as we are concerned, they were not fighting. So look, with records of the African president, what happened behind the doors in French presidencies is not very big to the French people. French presidents have had issues with these having outside misses and having children outside. We have records of most of them. So people take the news, but if it happened in the UK, it would be a big issue in the US or other countries. But the French people don't care about what happened in the president's burial. They maybe have some issue. Like my colleague Francis said, it's big news when it's president because it's a name. But why we all have issues with our wives or our husbands and stuff like that. But sometimes they slip out, shopping out of the plane. Probably they were joking and went a little bit outside. It could be anything. Could be, but woman did not comment, so it's not abuse. What can you say? The guy did not say he was abused. He'd been beaten. The guy said they were horsing around. So let's leave it as it is. For me, we don't have to make a big deal of this thing. It's happening everywhere. We have issues with presidents. We have issues with celebrities. We all have issues here and there. So I think that is you look at.
Okay, thank you, Jamal. We'll close on it. For man say is the president since 20 years he been under that woman and brother they been beating him, and so I think she should continue beating him because he go all over the place causing trouble. That's how I see it, and it's good for him. So we move on. The situation in the Middle East. We'll touch on the Middle East and then we'll touch on Russia before we move to Liberia. The Netanyahu, for some reason known by him, he decided that he want to starve the people to death. And this now, apart from killing women and children every day, that the West have for many years, they have come to a point, the Western leaders. So they have not talked anything about this. It happened that on Saturday, there are 20 Western foreign ministers. They met in Madrid to see how they can put more pressure on Israel and also to have the two-state solution. But before that, the British Prime Minister, the Canadian President, and a Prime Minister as well, and Macron came together, decided to put little pressure on Israel by just talking but doing nothing. So I just want to listen to this thing from Sky News. They had a woman who said something before we go to the foreign minister, and I want your take on this.
So the first thing to say about this is that it's absolutely shameful that the only story we have about Gaza on tomorrow's front pages is about pro-Gaza protests in the UK. We have, a few days ago, an Israeli parliamentarian said on Israeli media, he said, we can do what we want. I'm paraphrasing. Nobody cares. We can kill 100 Palestinians in Gaza over one night, which has been happening with frequency, and nobody cares anymore. The world will just let us do it. And it seems that our media are determined to prove him right, because for weeks now, that is exactly what we've had. We've had a UK surgeon who's working out of a hospital in Gaza. He's been giving interviews and saying, this is what it's like. It's 100 killed one night, 150 killed another night, 75 another night. He says, this is a slaughterhouse. This is like being in a slaughterhouse. We have seen the Israeli government absolutely say the quiet part out loud, that what they're doing is ethnic cleansing in Gaza. And we are not covering it. It is not on the front pages of our newspapers. And that in itself is a disgrace. And that is what allows it to keep going on.
Okay, I mean, there have been statements, strongest statements ever from Keir Starmer and other European leaders, obviously.
Statements, but not action. Israel doesn't care about statements. The Israeli government, which is the most extreme government that Israel has ever had, and is saying out loud, we're going to corral Palestinians in Gaza, basically into a concentration camp in a little bit of the strip, and we're going to take over the rest. And is starving and slaughtering people on a daily basis. It does not care that Canada, France and the UK says, well, if you carry on doing this, we're going to do something terrible. We need to be actually taking action now, today. Action that Israel will be forced, compelled to listen to and stop. Everything else is meaningless and is allowing this to continue.
We haven't seen.
So the first thing to say about this is...
Right. Guys, everything else is meaningless. That's the last statement to that woman. Francis, what say you?
Look, Paul, this is appalling. It shows that the European leaders and other world leaders are complacent in this ethnic cleansing, in this genocide, in this annihilation of a group of people. Look, there's no amount of condemnation without actions. Look, Russia has been sanctioned from going to play the Winter Olympics. What is Israel doing that is not worse than the Russian doing? Why Israel is giving a carte blanche, approach, leverage. They have the latitude to do anything with Palestinians, kill them, starve them, shoot them, beat them, kill them. There's no action. Why 2026 they suspended Russia and Belarus? Why Israel cannot be suspended from this European sports activities, all activities? Look, man, Paul, this is crazy, man. It's crazy. It's complete madness.
Jamal, I know you wanted to come in. What say you? This is
Paul,
the thing.
Paul, this is open secret that we all know what's going on. We all know what is going on. We just talk about it. So it's just all over the place. And you heard what Lily said. All the condemnations were the actions. Simple. That's underlying the word. Where are the actions? Israel doesn't listen to anybody. So what is that? Who gave that ultimate power that they can listen to do what they like? What Israel likes, they can do anything she likes. So nobody question Israel. And I can tell you, I can assure you, two things I can say here tonight. USA, Saudi Arabia, tell Israel to stop, she will stop. But Europe, Canada, forget it. They don't care about them because they don't spend money on them. Who is the major sponsor of Israel is USA and Saudi Arabia. That's it. So all the thing you're talking about here is all these politics of what my colleague just said. Russia's being banned from. Yes, correct. Russia is being the victim here. But who cares if Israel has to do anything, kill the Palestinians? That's it. Go ahead and kill them. At the end of the day, they'll come publish something. When last you hear Mr. Trump condemning Israel, saying stop, this not going to move on you. He never said that. So it's just an open secret that they'll continue killing the people in Palestine. And you and myself don't have the power to stop anything. We just sit here and just condemn them. Likewise, the people in Canada, the Europeans, they don't have the muscle to move on, to say, okay, if you don't stop, we'll arm them to fight you. When have they said that? Or we'll put sanction on you. They are arming Zelensky to fight Russia. Why are they not arming the Palestinians to fight Israel? So this is something we shouldn't be discussing. We all know what they say, just like because it's in the public news. Nothing you can do about it except USA and Saudi work together and tell Israel to stop, she will stop. Simple as that.
Right. So I want to play this one, then I bring Padole and Linford in because Jamal and Francis saying that it's just talk.
Yeah,
but then the Western people decided it is always talk, no action. So they met in Madrid. But I want to play this clip before Linford.
We are saying some points not Western. We say Europe and Canada are just talking, they are not playing action. If America is on the West as well, and Saudi Arabia say stop, Israel will stop, but they are not saying that. That's what I'm saying. That's what we are saying.
They are not saying that. Okay, so let me bring this one in, and then I will have Padole and Linford thought on this. On Saturday, 20 foreign minister, Western foreign minister, including the Middle East foreign minister, met in Madrid. Listen to this.
Breaking news. The German Chancellor claims his government along.
Here is the hold on. That is the one.
Stop genocide.
It's been a year since this gathering was first held. Now the number of countries attending is increasing. Ministers of Foreign Affairs from the EU and the Middle East joining an expanding coalition to put pressure on Israel to end the war in Gaza.
In this terrible moment, in this humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza, we aim at two things. First, to stop this war from Israel in Gaza and to break the blockade of humanitarian assistance that must go in unimpeded. And secondly, because we want to create momentum towards June 17th, that conference in UN, in order for everyone that has still not done it to recognize the state of Palestine.
Last year, Slovenia, Norway, Ireland and Spain recognized Palestine. More recognitions are expected in the upcoming months.
We need the recognition of Palestine. We need this war to end. We need the respect of international law, the respect of humanitarian law, and stop killing innocent civilians. What we are facing in Gaza is horrific.
The EU has warned it may suspend its trade deal with Israel if it fails to allow aid into Gaza and end the war. But Egypt's foreign minister says there is no end in sight.
Fortunately, there is a lack of political will from the Israeli side. This is the main problem, and we will keep trying. We will apply maximum pressure. We will continue to exert our maximum efforts in order to push for a ceasefire.
The gathering is also discussing ways to support the Palestinian Authority and finance the eventual reconstruction of Gaza.
We hope that the Israeli government would listen to our demands for bringing in food, stop famine, stop genocide,
Many countries around the world see what's happening and they are clearly disapprove it.
Spain is pushing for a tougher approach. Many countries are discussing possible sanctions and arms sales restrictions if Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejects growing calls for an end to the suffering of civilians in Gaza. For now, the EU, the UK and their allies in the Middle East want to see an immediate end to the war in Gaza. They also hope to rally more support for the two-state solution as the best possible way to end the conflict. Hashim Ahbar, Al Jazeera, Madrid.
Linford, we'll start with Pat Dolly, and then Linford, you close on the chapter, and then maybe Francie and Jamal can chime in. So the foreign ministers met. You heard them. Their intent. Pat Dolly, what say you?
Yeah, you see what happened. My observation on the European Union uh, way of approaching this international issue is I look at it as a hypocrisy. You know, they have some personal interest in somewhere and they are playing leniency to another place. You see, whatever they are saying about Israel, they got the capacities to take a appropriate step that Israel will stop the war and Israel will stop the killing of the people. But they're not going to do it because they have certain political interests. Most of these, from my little knowledge about Western politics, most of the Western countries, their political backing is Israeli. France, England, America. If the Israeli does not back you, my dear brother, you're not going to be president. So that been going on for ages. So for this reason, whatever they are saying publicly is not the one that they say indoor. So I don't look at it to be a reality issue. Otherwise, the Arab, the Middle East, they are puppets to the West. That one for sure. Everybody know that. They didn't got no sin. And also in the Middle East, they are divided between the Shia and the Sunni activities. That is deeper among them. So whatever they say over there is fiasco to me. When America put a foot, England and France put their foot, you will see everything will stop. But they can't do it because of that political maneuvering they got on their shoulder. That's my view on it.
Wow. Linford, what say you? This is where we're heading.
Well, the situation in Palestine is nothing new from 1948 until now. These things have been happening. In my lifetime, I've seen several presidents come from both sides, from Palestine and from Israel, and some of them have called for ceasefire. We saw a lot of them, and some of them have stood very strongly against Israel, but still from the Palestinian side. The likes of Yasser Arafat, at some point he was making peace. At some point he was fighting when he even formed the PLO. But the question that one will want to ask is, why is Israel given special preference when it comes to committing atrocities against other people? We've seen a lot of people go to face the International War Crimes Court. We've seen a lot of governments being overthrown because they say they abuse human rights, but it's not with the Israeli government. And so the same people, the America, I will not try to mince words here, and I'm responsible for what I say. It's not a platform. America, that is the world police, the self-proclaimed world police, is the one that is backing Israel in so many ways. Okay, so you talk about the European Union, and how many countries in Europe that are not being followers of America? They follow America. Whatever America say, look at your own country, Great Britain. Look at France. Wherever America goes under these guys of how you call it, NATO or whatever, they follow America, and they have given America that strength, that self, glory that they are the world police. They can decide what the other countries want. So European Union countries, most of the strong and biggest countries in Europe, they follow America. So who's there to stand against Israel when America is stand against? Now, they said just recently we heard that Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso is using the Burkina Faso gold to protect himself, to enrich himself and protect himself, security for himself. This is a president that needs security. Even if he uses his gold, it's problem. And the people say, oh, it's not good leadership. And so they want to go in there to liberate the people of Burkina Faso. They didn't say he's killing his people, but using gold to protect himself. And they want to go there. America and I want to go there. Their generals say they want to go there to liberate the people. But why is Israel killing the Palestinians? Glare. Everybody can see it in public glare. Okay? And thanks to the technology. And you cannot go there to move Netanyahu. What made Netanyahu so powerful more than America or the EU or whoever, that you will sit and see him doing these things and nobody can go? But you want to go get Ibrahim Traore for using gold to protect himself, or gold that belongs to him. Okay? You say Saddam Hussein was what? A dictator. He had weapons of mass destruction. And you didn't see Saddam Hussein fighting war against anybody in his country. He may have had political prisoners and, they had political differences. When you overthrew him, you did the same thing to Gaddafi, but you cannot do it to Netanyahu. But again, if you listen to the first clip you play, where that lady was saying that, they're talking, and the journalist told us, but talking is that much. We need action. You see, so as long as America is behind, then nobody's going to take the action. They only talk, and the talking. What does the talking do? Nothing. Okay, so Pat Dolly mentioned about the Arab world, and sometimes I got a guy from Palestine who is my workmate, and just the moment we were talking about the same thing. The Arab, half of the Arab world, they are in America's pocket. In fact, they are the biggest. They are some of the biggest donors to America. Okay, look at Saudi Arabia. Donald Trump, they recently they gave him all that big money according to the Saudi people themselves. Okay, so your people, okay, let's be a little bit. America got a policy. You take one American, you take all Americans. You touch one American, this is why thousands of American soldiers will die just to clean the body of one American who is killed. They already thousands will die just to clean his body. The body will not a living one. So you Arab people, you got the same religion, which is Islam. You speak the same thing, Arabic. Okay, so if they say they kill all the Arabic people, all will die innocently, God forbid, because of your connection. So why is it that one of you is suffering and the rest of you sitting and even siding with the people who are suffering your people? Why? This is hard to say, because when you say people understand from different cultures, but that's the truth. The Arab people, they are the most deceitful people that I have seen. That if the fact that Saudi Arabia cannot support, they get it. If Saudi Arabia steps in, all the Arab countries step in, and support Israel, or Palestine. You think Israel will do that? No, they can't. But because they are divided, and of course that division came from the big hand, the big war police. The first thing they enter Saudi Arabia, they enter the Arab world, they divided them. Okay, they divided them.
Yeah.
So they are divided. Think about things from a part the central canal hold. Once they are divided, forget it. Take your knife and tear the watermelon apart and see if you put it back together. Whether you put tape around it, the water will be leaking. You see it? So that's what the world police, the West have done, and that's what they do all around the world. They divide people. When you divide, then you're able to rule and conquer, and that's what they're doing. So this thing is far from end. I hear these few Europeans talking. It's zero. They're not going to go anywhere further. It's going to be the same thing. This thing has been continued from way 1948 until now. Okay, so we hope to see, we can all hope for the best. The best we can hope for, but let's see what will happen. But as long as America, all the big countries are not supporting Palestine, or they do not, Trump he was discussing something about Palestine. I read it somewhere, but I didn't pay much attention to it, where he talked about Palestine could be maybe the Gaza could be turned into something like tourist site or something like that.
Rivera.
Rivera. So the way he said directly, he said, get rid of all the people, take them out, and let's make a place of Rivera. You understand? So how do you expect that war to end?
Well, yeah. So let move. I mean, and you guys said it all. You and Francie and Jamal, and Padole. This, if America step into the war will stop, because they're refusing the war. They will continue killing the people in Gaza and Palestine. But then, funny thing happened. They all now.
One second, Paul. 1 second. Let me add a part. 1 second before we forget. They say 49 people left from South Africa. Farmers left from South Africa to go to America, right? And what did Trump do? Trump provided everything. He himself was having pictures showing it. He was not there. They didn't see nobody drop bomb to see the people or cutting the throat, but he was showing pictures of people burying people. What about people who you see bomb dropping on? Whole nation, they want to get 49 people, but whole nation, they killing people. Why you get 49 people preference or whole nation? Think about that. Let's move ahead.
So, I mean, this is Padole said it, this is the hypocrisy of the world. So now, we transition from another bad situation to another worse situation in my mind. Another superpower is now dealing with a country that once upon a time were part of. And the Western alliance called NATO have been supplying this, but for some reason, they cannot deal with the other superpower. So they have been finding all sorts of technicality. There will be they bring 30-day ceasefire. There must be peace. All of the things, but to find out the 30-day ceasefire was for them to carry more ammunition in. So they came up with their group called the Coalition of the Waiting, that they want to be the peacekeeper, but they are the arm provider. They want to be the peacekeeper. So what happened now? Russia called their bluff and said enough is enough. They had a meeting in Turkey. They did prisoner exchange. They decided for some reason, Russia know that at that time the war will end. So last Wednesday, there were 100 drones sent to Russia. And Russia now decided to retaliate what they did a few days. They massacred people in Kiev that now brought Donald Trump and other people calling Putin a crazy man. So let's listen to the last clip before we transition to Liberia. The Western alliance now, Germany, that was flogged before by Russia, is now so angry because they beat them before. They want to now supply arms. So where are we headed? Let's listen to this. Then we have our say.
Breaking news. The German Chancellor claims his government, along with the UK, France and the US, have lifted all range restrictions on weapons for Ukraine. Moscow reacts, saying the move goes against efforts to settle the conflict. We're starting with breaking news. Russia has slammed the German Chancellor's claim that 4 NATO countries, the UK, France, the US and his own, have lifted all their restrictions on long-range arms supplies to Ukraine. Here's what the Kremlin spokesperson told the media about the alleged Western move.
If such a solution really exists, it absolutely goes against efforts that we are currently making within the framework of the settlement. This is a rather dangerous decision, again, if there is one.
Well, Dmitry Peskov there was responding to a statement that was casually dropped by Friedrich Merz during a media forum.
There are no longer any restrictions on the range of weapons supplied to Ukraine. Neither from the British, nor from the French, nor from Germany, nor the Americans. So this means that Ukraine can now also defend itself by, for example, military attacks on positions in Russia. It couldn't do that until a while ago. Ukraine didn't do that until some time ago, with very few exceptions. It can do that now. In jargon, we call this long-range fire. That is, to equip Ukraine with weapons that attack military targets deep inside territory.
Well, previously we had seen limits established and put forward by NATO states. All those countries, together with Germany, have agreed to lift and remove all restrictions of the range of weapons that they can and will supply to Ukraine. Presumably, what this means is that in addition to the Storm Shadow, the Scalp joint British and French missiles, the Attack MS missile supplied by the United States, now we'll see Germany perhaps supplying Ukraine with Taurus cruise missiles. These are missiles with a range of up to 500 kilometers. Launched from Ukraine, they could reach Moscow. This would be another dramatic escalation. Now, I must differentiate here. It is an escalation because of the act. The German state supplying one of its best weapons to Ukraine to target Russian rear areas, so strikes deep within Russia. On the other hand, politically, this is a very dangerous, very, very dangerous precedent, because what if Ukraine decides to shoot these missiles at Moscow, at a civilian target in Moscow? Putin will be pressured by the Russian population to respond, and perhaps respond not only against or to Ukraine, but to Germany as well. It must be borne in mind that the Russian nuclear doctrine has changed. Now, any country that supplies weapons to a country that attacks Russia could and will be considered party to this conflict.
The Ukrainian army by itself is not capable of striking with modern Western-made long-range precision systems. It cannot do this. This is only possible using intelligence data from satellites, which Ukraine does not have. Such data is only from satellites of the European Union or the United States. In general, from NATO satellites. Therefore, we are not talking about allowing the Ukrainian regime to strike Russia with these weapons or not. We are talking about a decision on whether NATO countries are directly involved in the military conflict or not. If this decision is made, it will mean nothing less than the direct participation of NATO countries, the United States and European countries, in the war.
Just to remind our viewers, in the aftermath of the United States, Britain and France lifting restrictions and strikes with their missiles deep into Russia, in the aftermath of that, Russia responded by testing the Oreshnik missile system, a missile system that could carry nuclear warheads, that even armed with conventional warheads has the power which can be compared or comparable to nuclear weapons, tactical nuclear weapons, and which can reach Berlin, for example, in just minutes. Russia launched a slew of attacks targeting Ukrainian drone, rocket, armament production and storage facilities all over Ukraine. These were very big strikes, again, utilizing not thousands, but hundreds of drones. This was a response to what Zelensky had ordered be carried out on the 20th and 23rd, and these drone attacks from Ukraine still continue. Now, we've seen reaction from Western press, Western officials, Europeans saying that Ukraine needs this ceasefire, 30-day ceasefire, to rearm, to resupply with air defense weapons as they're running short. President Donald Trump has come out and criticized Russia for these strikes, without mentioning the slew of Ukrainian strikes that led to this Russian response.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Donald Trump he has sided entirely with the Europeans. He has pulled out of peace talks, and he is now in talks with Europeans about supplying them, allowing them to buy weapons from the United States to supply Ukraine with. So certainly the United States stands to lose very little, but the Kremlin has responded with the president's spokesperson, Dmitry Peskov, coming out and saying that it isn't what Donald Trump likes or dislikes that dictates what Vladimir Putin does, but it is the national interests of Russia.
Of course, the beginning of the negotiation process, for which the American side has made huge efforts, is a very important achievement. And we are really grateful to the Americans and to President Trump personally. Of course, at the same time, this is a very crucial moment, which is associated with emotional reactions. We are closely monitoring them. At the same time, President Putin makes decisions that...
Okay. We will now go into, so, Francis, Jamal, Linford, pardon. You said it here about Trump have not said anything about the people being killed in Gaza, but he can talk clearly that Putin is killing women and children in Ukraine. But on the other side, there are babies are dying in Gaza. He cannot say anything. He supported. You guys are listening to the video. What say you? Let me start with Padoli, and then we'll go to Linford, and we'll end with Jamal. Padoli?
Yeah. You see, I think I said it before you even played a video. I said that people are not serious about bringing peace in the world. And what the people trying to do is a recipe to serious disaster. We hope that some important people among the leadership of the West will advise their leaders not to go further with this kind of decision, because what make messy, it make you angry, it make you to do things you're not supposed to do. And everybody know, those that sit on the table to discuss issue, all of them know what brought the war in Ukraine. It's not a hidden secret. But still, they putting a dead year to it instead of finding amicable solution to it, to stop it, and they keep on putting fuel on the fire. It's very, very scary. It's very, very scary. Let me be realistic. You know, people always say when the two elephant is fighting, the grass and the tree will suffer. We, the poor people in the country, that we have to gather every morning to go look for our daily bread. God forbid anything go offhand, we are the first victim. So let all pray to God that these things should not escalate. Because the people that we're talking about, all of them got nuclear weapons, which is dangerous. When they drop one somewhere, the whole town perish. So I hope. And you know, the heart, you see, when people are getting plenty somehow, people always say in the Bible, in the Quran, when there's a lot of evil people too much in any society, God always brings something to cause someone to care, that to eliminate so many people. We hope this will not be the case.
Pardon. So I hope it's not the case, because I said it earlier.
We
need to start buying our ticket now.
Yeah, I hope this will not be the case.
We need to start buying our ticket.
Listen,
from here.
Yeah, Paul, what you talking about going to Africa? They people have all capacity to even go to Africa. The same thing they did to our great grandparents. Then they can still do it to us. We stay inferior to them. You can see it. We stay inferior to these people. They can still go to Africa and say, look, they were not forced all the way. They used to force our grandparents then before, but they will tell our puppets leader then, we need 10,000 men. We need 100,000 men. We will give you so ill. Yes, they will give it to them. And then 10,000, 100,000 people will come and die for nothing. For something that they never cost. So now look at this thing. Yeah, to be very frank, it's a reality. I'm telling you, Paul,
that's
it's a
true.
reality.
I said it from the. It's true. It's true. I said it from the intro that we should now start looking for our ticket. Linford, Germany, do World War II, the European war that they call World War II. The German killed 27 million of the Soviets. 27 million, they killed 27 million USSR, the former Russia Republic. 27 million people died. Germany now want to join this so-called group called the Coalition of Waiting to send arms. And when that happened, when Ukraine used German weapons, this could be something serious in Europe. What say you?
Well, I was laughing when Padoli was talking. He said, "We're praying to God." No God can do anything but anyone. Let me tell you now, no God. See, the thing here is,
I mean,
God has given us. Yeah,
you saying that God can't do nothing about it? We better put out. You gotta need to God. Let's be realistic because this thing here.
Padoli will come to you. Let Linford
learn. Okay, Linford go ahead, but at least let him talk about God small, so we can have at least God can have some pity on us.
And Paul, you're talking about more bad ticket to go to Africa, my friend. They put out talking about that thing that happened in 1912, and they said our World War, and now they went. Nobody, you heard, and they were talking about Putin were talking about satellite. Nobody dealing with the satellite. They're not dealing with the younger soldiers wearing uniform. They're not coming put boots on the ground. Nobody are butting the pressing. So nowhere is safe in terms of anything. This will be the real world war, and trust me, it will happen. No, the world has got to fight a war, and it's happening. This is a prophecy. I'm giving it to you. Nobody should polish anything and say, "Oh, God will help." Let me tell you, the world is going to fight a war. The entire world will fight, and you know the reason why? Because there are certain people who feel that they are the dominant forces, and they can decide for other people, and it has reached a point where those people that they used to decide for have already reached their level. And so they are saying, hell no, you cannot decide for us. You cannot control us. So we're going to fight for ourselves. Africans, we are at the tail because no country in Africa that is equal to them in terms of military hardware. But if there anything, countries will have to recruit fighters. If they need men, they have to recruit from Africa. And that's where the real war will start. You see, what do you think America is depending on that they can go all around the world? We say Putin is shooting rocket and are doing who are you to let what Putin does? You Putin president. Who are you to let or approve what Putin does? You do not you're president for America, you're not president for Russia. So even in Liberia, you're not president for Liberia. So why would you want the other president to do what you like? So this is where the war will come from. And the war is going to fight a world war. Trust me, it's going to happen. This one is a prophecy. And anybody, it may not be in our time, but it's going to happen. If they continue to carry on the trend it is now. And we can see signs. Now, Germany is saying they're going to send, Putin is saying they're not doing the secret, that they're going to send weapons to Ukraine. And I ask myself, what is Zelensky looking for fighting? What will he benefit? What the benefit are coming to him? Because America too, you say we want to establish our military base there. Russia say no, don't do it. If you do it, you pay the price and you're starting to fight. So what are you going to gain at the end of the day? You can look at the lives of your citizens, you Zelensky. So it's going to be a world war and nowhere will be safe. I'll stay right here. I'm not going nowhere. I'll stay right here. We all die here. Okay. But the point I want to make here is that there will be a world war. It's going to happen. Let's prepare for that. And this one, nowhere is safe. Because the boss got a weapon. No, there are countries that got this thing event dormant. It's just sitting there. That nuclear, it's just sitting there. They want to test it. So if any country made mistake, then they say it's coming to start sending long range to Russia. Russia too will send out no long range here to Europe. So it will start here. And then when you say anything, and Russia got friends. Russia friends see that Russia is going down, they can make it, so we'll help our friends. European too, they got a friend, America and other countries, NATO. Then they say, okay, let's go for it. And this is where the real war, it's not that European thing they did, they call World War. No, the real war will start soon if they continue to do what they're doing. So I don't see any reason why Zelensky will want to continue this war, to escalate it, to provoke something bigger. Okay, it's very simple. Stop this war, go to ceasefire, and if you can negotiate with Russia, whether the Russia has taken certain territory from you, you negotiate with them to get it back, or if you are taking certain territory, you negotiate and get it back. Okay, and fighting a process war for somebody is what I don't understand. When Zelensky is doing this, because what he's doing is a process war. He didn't have a war with Russia. Why are you fighting NATO's war when you are not even a member of the NATO? So, then we see the hypocrisy that we talked about earlier on. They say some of the same European countries that say, "Oh, let's go to Israel to make peace between them and the Palestinians." That is saying Israel say, that is saying European countries say we're sending weapons to Ukraine to fight Russia. So tell me now, what sense does it make? And this is a basis of my claim that there will be a world war. And trust me, it's going to happen. It may not be our time, but it will happen. Until that happens, the war will stay. There will be a lot of imbalances in the war. People who feel they get power, they will be suppressing the smaller ones. But until we can fight that big war, the people who will survive will be behind them. When they look around and they see the damages, they see the destruction, then they will learn sense and rewrite history and say, no, we cannot go back again. You think how the UN and thinking about that small war they fought in Europe, how the League of Nations and the UN thinking about, until we can fight a bigger one. Yeah? Where if 10,000 people live in the entire world, then it's plenty, it will not stop. Because men have become so wicked and they can dominate other people. That has to stop. And it will stop by big destruction. Like stand that God had agreed to cut down the population and let good people live, the bad people will go.
Well, Padole said it all. Francis, is that climate change? Because the people, the population so huge now, so maybe the nuclear weapon will start wiping people, or the few that remain will now start producing again. What say you?
Look, I just got a few comments to make and also move on. Look, the decisions taken by the Western European countries now is belated. They should have done it from the beginning of the war. That should have done. When they tied the Ukrainian hands, you give them weapons, they tell you how to use it, body them, told them how to use the weapon they give them. When you protect yourself, then they keep punching you. Russia keep punching you and just set up ambushes. Weapon has reinforced itself. Got weapon from North Korea. Guys asking is going to this arsenal now ready to shoot up. So look, that would not bring any end to the war in Ukraine. They must push forward for a ceasefire, because Russia is bigger than Ukraine in terms of military and a lot of European countries. Although, Russia cannot fight other countries. Russia, England, Germany, France, they all have nuclear weapons as well. But it's not a good thing for the people of Ukraine and for us who live here. So that's just another showmanship. Which I done, I think, a long time ago. Give the people the weapon. I said it here to my wife when the war started. Sweden will give them all the weapons. America supplied them. They said don't use it. What you get to put weapon for? They can't use. the man asked for planes first, getting the go to planes, so at least he could, you know, the Russians ground troops, he could attack them from the air. They said no. Now the Russia are taking half of the men, almost half, and not even half, but I mean a lot, a considerable amount of territory from the country. Now what you want to do? They put on Westport Town, man, poor. They put out that water. They can't do anything that Russia and if they use any kind of weapon that Russia retaliate bigger. So they should focus on how you arm the Palestinians too. And they arm the Palestinians as well, so they can Israelis. Yeah,
I like that one. Arm the Palestinians. Arm the Palestinians. So Jamal, I want you to close us on this one, and then we transition to Liberia. This thing, power past power. A superpower sitting down, and then you got another superpower supplying arm to the layman to fight a superpower. And one of the threats in the thing is Germany. Germany is no friend to Russia. They killed a lot of Russia during the so-called European World War II. Britain will say, Putin will say, okay, but when it comes from Germany to kill a Russian, the Russian will not take that like they will retaliate. What say you, Jamal, so we can move to Liberia from listening to what you heard?
Yeah. Do you hear me? You can hear me, guys? Right, thank you. Paul, I think my colleagues have
loud and clear.
I'm not much interested in discussing this issue because I know it's the biggest hypocrisy in the world is the West. America has the order of the day, so you can't change anything. So say anything is just a waste of time. So I'll let it go. I'll have a pass on this. I want us to move on.
Okay, but take it wanted to call in to have his say on this topic, so you can call in when you're ready. So before we move on, let's do a little commercial, and then Jamal, you take over and take us through the Liberian dailies. So, but take it, if you have the time, you can call in. We want your input too on this. Let me see how we go to have our commercial break. One sec, guys, trying to get this up. Jamal, Linfa, can you put that commercial thing up? My mouse is playing out here. Okay, I got it.
Di Lorenzo, G Grace, Hems vocal, Liberia number one vocal, Liberia number one, right? Okay.
The phrase, a new sheriff is in town, does not only belong to law enforcement. How about the introduction of Liberia's premier vodka, a quality and customized liquor for all occasions? Try the flavor of your choice. Hems Vodka, Hems Honey, Hems Bitter, and Hems Original Vodka. Hems Vodka has no hangover. That's why they say Papa drank Mama happy. Hems Vodka is sold in all stores, shops, supermarkets, and entertainment centers in Liberia. For wholesale, contact Hems Vodka at 0777 001114, 0777 000-979. We can also be reached via social media on Facebook and IG at Hems Vodka or www.hensvodka.com. In the United States, please contact Hems North America Incorporated at 610-543-9289, 484-888-1622, 484-755-8411. Hems Vodka is approved by the U.S. federal government. Hems Vodka brings out the real man in you.
I tell you in my boy, in my blood. Every time when I stay on the block, everybody knows it. We husband. And forgot that number one. Oh, from Liberia all around. In supermarket store and everywhere. And forgot that number one. Oh.
Well. Paul, thank you very much. That was an international pause. So if you just joined, we'll be taking a call from our colleague Thomas. Thomas will be calling in. He has a comment to make on the international discussions we had tonight. Guys, thank you very much for your contribution on the international scene. We're going to Liberia, LIB, so to be. Guys, so now we have some newspaper to go through. Like what we do here, normally we dive through the newspaper, what we got to tell you. What happened, the major headlines. Now, all the paper, the most important one we'll take. We look at developments, social, economic, whatever it is. Tonight, we'll start with Daily Observer. There was a story about the something accounting like we call Magibi. Some citizens have issues about this story, guys. Daily Observer came out with a story that the citizens saying that the 28 kilometers road in Magibi, AML, that's the meter of Liberia, is trying to greater and pave the road, not quota, but they spent $527,000 on this road. So the citizens are not happy. This is the story, guys. So they are saying that 28 kilometers is over. It's the if you look at the story here, it says it's overpriced and it's not sustainable. It's no quota, like no pavement, just putting great. It's just greater in a row. What do you think? Is this something like this guy? Is one of the it's a guy called Siafa. One of the advocates we say that this is something you want to say. He raised concern that this is not fair for the people of Magibi. They just overprice it. And what do you think, guys? You just want to take a ride and what do you think? It's probably he's miscalculating, not doing project management here, but he believed that this is overpriced and the people of Magibi should protest this. So this came from Delos, guys. So we'll just make a comment on this. What do you think? If you did read the paper, let's hear what you say, guys. I'll take a ride. Anybody can comment from anywhere. So anybody can make a comment on it. It's
it's just a question, then probably I can comment. Why are Magibians outraged over the about the oil price? Who's paying the money? Is it them or ArcelorMittal? Who's paying the money?
ArcelorMittal is paying the money. But they are thinking that why do you go over price the budget, and that money could be allocated to something else in Magibi instead of giving a high price, giving the impression that they are doing well for the country. It's not like that. They are not. The guy is saying that they're not even they're not paving the road. They're just gritting the road, and I think it's from ours. What's it from the hospital? The most popular hospital, the Rainy Hospital. That's a junction to 26 gate. So there where they stop. So it's not even. It's under 28 kilometers. So definitely it's overpriced. They think if they have to put $500,000 or a little bit over $500,000, they should be allocated to something else instead of putting all that money in there. If it's not, it doesn't even worth that. That's what you think. Yeah, that's what they think.
Okay. Well, and I don't see any sense in if I come to you, Chima, I say I want to paint your house, you're not putting any money there, but I want to do it for you as a private person or probably as a business person or business friend of yours, and then you tell me, oh, why are you using green paint that's not expensive when you're not putting it should be the Liberian government's responsibility to do roads in the country. So if a private company like ArcelorMittal, they are business people. All business people will know the reason why people make business, including me and any other person, is to maximize profit. So if you think that you're making profit and you want to help your the community in which you're working, that's it. But nobody can tell you what to do. It's ArcelorMittal's money that they're using. So you should be holding your government responsible to do that. Not ArcelorMittal. ArcelorMittal say, okay, send yourself overpricing, we're stopping. What you do? You carry the code. So I don't see any sense in it.
No, just give another view on that. I didn't want to comment on it because I did not read it, but just the fact that my friend and brother is saying that ArcelorMittal has the right to construct any kind of quality of road is wrong. I don't think it's.
I did not say they have the right to. I said they are doing favor. They are doing favor for you. What to do.
And you also said that they can paint your house green. You don't have to comment on it. That's why.
So it's our rule. You want to put anything out there, we can say no.
Okay, so we withdraw.
Yeah, it better. Yeah. And that maybe it's something that you forgot. They have the social responsibility to these people.
No. ArcelorMittal got social corporate responsibility to 3 countries, Nima, Bonk, and Paso, that they are using. How are they using Margibi country?
Partial Margibi is part of it.
Huh?
But you transport with some of the thing by road to come to Monrovia as well.
No.
Of course.
But whatever it is, gentlemen, the question I think Francis raising Limpo is if they have to, if I come with a project to impress the government, like I put $500,000 money here in this project, but it doesn't work it. So should you just let it happen without questioning it? That's the question I'm asking.
No, you can question it. See,
that's what they are saying. They are really concerned because they are saying that
but there are 2 things. Why they say they are outraged? Why are they mad? Outraged means to be mad, dissatisfied.
Overpriced. Overpriced over budget that are putting on real budget. Anyway, let's give to Mr. Dollar here. Mr. Dollar, what do you think?
Before I comment on the thing, where is the responsibility of ArcelorMittal?
ArcelorMittal is doing metal steel in 3 counties, Bassa, Nimba, I think what.
Yeah, where is the agreement? Where is the agreement between ArcelorMittal and the Liberian government? Because Margibi is part of the Liberian government.
Yep.
Where is the agreement between them?
Let me come in right there. I have not read that document. I don't know whether ArcelorMittal is responsible. They got social corporate responsibility for all the 16 countries in Liberia. That I don't know. But the one that I do know that we have been hearing about over and over, that even the Liberian Johnson were always fighting for, is they got corporate responsibility for Bong, Nima, and Paso. Why? The iron ore is mined in Nima, pelletized in Nima, transported through Nima, transported through Bong, transported through and deposited in Grand Paso County. So those are the areas that are being affected if there is any environmental pollution. I was saying that I grew up on a train track. That train track from Nima County all the way to Paso. I grew up on a train track. My grandfather, there where I was born, right on the train track. So I know, as if you go there, all the trees along that road, they brown. All the trees that can grow along the road, they are brown. Why? Because when the train go in, the dust from the iron ore, it can catch all the tree. Tell like the car road can be looking so the high low. So there is some sort of pollution. I also live on the St. John River. My town is situated on the St. John River. The St. John River starts from Nima County as a small river where they do the pelletizing, and that river is that dirt from the iron ore. It runs down when that water gets full. Everywhere you go, the brown deposit will remain there. And to the point where only certain type of fish can live in that water now. The other fish cannot live there. They all die. That environmental pollution. This is the social corporate responsibility for those 3 countries that are being affected. So let them enjoy too. So I don't know whether
listen. My question is this. Jermaine, 1 minute. The reason why I ask that question is this here, because if international company like ArcelorMittal come to the country, they must have some obligation to the Liberian government. So what prompted them to go to Margibi to do something if you don't have some arrangement with the Liberian government? Because listen, if you to be realistic, the people in Margibi the right to comment. Because if you come to my house to do a piece of job, whether you're doing it for me for free or it's my entitlement, you need to have consultation with me. You need to tell me what I need. Then I should tell you, oh, this is the one I want you to do. If you can't able to do it, you don't have the capacity to do it, then you can tell me, look, this is the one I can afford. If you don't come to a thing, you go back to where you're coming from. But you can come and just dash something on me because you're giving me something for free. No, it's wrong. Don't be realistic.
Okay. Paul.
Right.
Well, let me make some clarification, Paul, before he come in. With regard to Linford, saying Linford, the guy who is giving the guy who is leading the argument about it's overpriced. This is why he said it's dealer is on his. I'll quote him. He said, "This is the story from They call the guys. I'll just call his last name. Something CFR. What is his name? Where is that? Yeah. Okay. He's let me see his name. Okay. I'll get to. I want to get to the last name. Something CFR. Right. He said, speaking on behalf of the Citizens United for Sustainable Development in Margibi County, another guy called Johnson said that the project is in its current forms. Okay. He said, the using 527,000 years are just to grade and compact a major road used by 3 multi-billion-dollar companies, Arsenal, Liberia, Arsenal, and China. It's unacceptable. 3 companies bringing that money, so it is not sustainable. It will create an additional health hazard for road user. And Johnson said, another group saying, so they're saying that they are asking the government to put the project on hold while they look into it. So he also want Margibi Legislature Caucus to engage financial to prepay two of the 3 years of land rental fees to fund sustainable road development. So they also said that Arsenal Meter project is also having impact on people of Margibi, some part of Margibi. So if he's not arguing that, if they're not having the AML, Arsenal Meter is not having work, is not having impact on the people of Margibi, I don't think there'll be a reason concern. So Paul, what do you have to say about this argument?
Well, thank you, Gemma. I mean, from the headline tells you that if you said 48 kilometers,
28 kilometers,
28, and with that, so if you're going to spend huge money on just greater a road with that kind of money, it's a concern to the people. So who overpricing? Is that a company that's going to greater the road overpricing? Because that means the citizen themselves can go and get yellow machine that will pay $500 to greater that road. So if the money is huge, then it must go into something else.
You see, maybe you're not getting my argument. You're not getting my argument. My argument here is...
No, let me finish. Then you come in.
Okay.
Let me finish. Then you come in. Because remember too, ArcelorMittal, something just happened recent time. And I want to get my hand. I think Brandon did share the document with us on the airfly chat room. They have just discovered a new ore that they didn't sign for. So they now reaching out to the greedy hunters for them to be able. So all of these things say, oh, let's do humanitarian work now. Maybe we encourage them to take the other grill that they just discovered, which not part of the agreement. They're going after our people now to buy them. That's another thing that we should look at. Because why would they give huge money for something that they could spend $500 or $600 to get greater for huge? So why don't you put that money into school or hospital? And this is the concern of these guys. So that means I must say, Linford, you say you can create a logistic company the last time. So we can set up a company now. Better give us that money so we can go greater all the roads around there with a huge amount.
Yeah, give Linford a gender. And if a guy argue, he says you get the money so you can go ahead. You set a logistic company and greater. Look, gentlemen, look, I don't know. Anybody want to comment on this? We can move on to the next topic.
Yeah. Let me get clarify what I'm saying. The thing is, the thing clear. Firestone being over there for 1926, and that road from Dusa to 15 Gate. I think that road they're talking about.
No, they're talking from Kakata to they're talking from Kakata to Gate 26.
Oh yes, 26 Gate going to Kakata. That Dusty Road. That Dusty Road. Okay, you can go all the way past Brefan. You can set if you talk, you can put one fosso, they call the whole road. Firestone being there all the time from 1926 until today as we speak. Why the Margibi people who getting that people are overpricing road, no special fashion to create a road. Okay, ArcelorMittal come and say we'll do it. What are they put 10 million in it that are money? You getting very there for your own money for using your own money. The way man want you say to give you service, free service. Then you say no. You say you go to you lay out to your house, you get money. The doctor can say, my man, I can give you paracetamol. You say no, give me injection. Or don't give me injection, give me this one. Oh, okay, I'll leave you. You go.
All right.
So
let's have it like that. We don't have much time to go on there. I think you guys living in Nepal, Milan, Europe. We don't have much time with us. So I don't want for Francis to leave on this time. Guys, so Linford, you got an argument. I do hold your argument. You're strong. You stand a very good chance. So you argue your point. Granted. So the next story here, guys, is this one. We have why this story, gentlemen? The story is because government of Liberia and partners launched $19.5 million project. This is going to be in Grand Bazaar. It's agro business. They're going to bring in 56,000 jobs to Liberia. Can we hail this government? I mean, this is a big. But it's you know what the new down newspaper did not explain in detail what the project is. It's agro business. But sometimes, you know why you ask me, Jamal, why you bring this up? You know, newspaper is record. A couple of years from now, we'll bring back to see what happened to the project that came on $19.4 million project. Did they take off? Those are, I think, one of the reasons. But now it's not explained in detail why the project, just the agro business, will bring in 56,000 jobs to the people of Liberia. Can we hail the leadership for this? You can see the picture is not clear, but you can see the vice president there cutting the ribbon to start to launch the project. Is it a good sign for Liberia, or do you guys want to know more about like the guy? What happened in Margibi? Raise concern. We want to know in details of the project. What will you say, guys? I was saying just now. Let me give Mr. Dory a chance now to say. I gave you a chance, Mr. Dory. What do you think? $19.4 million Liberian US dollars. It's going to start a project, agro business. It's not explained well in the paper, but it says that a big project coming to Liberia. 56,000 jobs in Liberia. We'll bring people from Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, Guinea to help us because we don't have that people.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Kamara, for bringing that story up. But let me ask a question. Who are those people that are bringing that? Development in our country.
International partner. Don't worry about who. Just look at the
No. You see what? No. You see what I'm asking question because we've been hearing so many stories about Liberia. The particular government that in power now. We've been hearing so many stories. When they come from China, the other time they say they coming with so many billion. We have up to present we have not seen anything. When they went to Malaysia, they say, oh, something like that coming happen. When they went to South Korea, similar thing. You know, and I don't know if you want the hair of a family or any entity is called at, you will see so many 419 people in that society. So that's why I'm asking this question. Who are these people? Are they credible people? Because you know when you put people,
let me get you the information. The World Bank is a World Bank, an African Development Bank, launches a special agro-industrial processing zone. They call it SAPZ, agro processing, a kind of factory they want to set up in Grand Bazaar. They call it a place in Grand Bazaar. What's the name of the place? There's a special place called Hammerville. Agro, like the process stuff, and there's a factory they want to set up. It's a World Bank together, African Development Bank, together with Liberia government. They want to put a factory in Grand Bazaar called Hammerville. It will be a cost. It will be the project worth $19.4 million US dollars. That's the deal. So you want to know more?
You said you want to build a factory.
That World Processing Center, where they process anything had to do with food, agriculture stuff. They can process and export it out of the country. You can buy it to other part of West Africa, across the world. They want to put out a processing center. That means a factory. So that's what.
So the people that are involved in it is a World
Bank and African Development Bank. Yes.
World Bank and African Development Bank.
Yes.
We hope to see it, but for me, I'm not convinced.
So, I think you need. It says something you can credit God because recently the government put up a massive poultry farm in Liberia. Did you see that in the news?
Where the poultry farm is?
Oh, you don't know? You didn't follow that? Okay, I think other people follow
that.
Huh?
Harrisburg.
And they say one head at $40 now.
Okay, guys.
Listen,
if you don't come
listen. No. The poultry farm that I know that used to be on Cranesbury, it was owned by one Taiwanese Chinese guy that I knew when I was in the police force.
The government just run a big one.
I mean, it was a massive.
For 30 years. We talk about this is recently built in Liberia.
Okay. All right. I'd like to hear that. So, how many people sell the egg now?
Let me just comment on what Mr. Dory said regarding corn artists and and the head of government. I think it's unfortunate that Mr. Dore will say that the people we have a con artist president and the head of the government.
No, listen. You don't misquote me. Listen, I said the government that in power now came out with so many stories, and none have come fruitful. Up to now, we have
Mr.
not seen.
Dore, just to
So
make
if I say if the government is like that, then you will see so many con-added people in the society.
yeah,
That's what I said.
Mr. Dore, I mean, if you go to a country, if you strike a deal, a bilateral deal with a country, and you're going to, it doesn't happen in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. It takes somebody takes months to a year. Maybe even the UP government will not even be there. The next government will come and say they inherit, they will inherit it, and they will move, they will start those projects. Like all the projects that are going on. We hear now the CDC say that all the projects UP carry on are their project. So these things takes years.
Oh my God! You see,
we
no, my
are
friend.
Sir Francis, the spokesperson for Unity Party. He's a
Let's be realistic with one another. Let's be realistic with ourselves. We should not be fooling ourselves. You know what happened when the government go out to negotiate for bilateral cooperation? When they come in with genuine arrangement, they come with some inspector to view the area to see where they're coming to do a business where is a genuine place. They will bring people. They will not just after talking with you, just leave you like that to come home. They will bring somebody to come and if it is genuine, somebody will follow you to come and see how it's going. That happened.
Thank you very much.
But that did not happen in our case.
It doesn't work that way.
Mr. Dolan, let's concentrate on the topic, guys.
Follow behind me? No.
No, listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying here. I said they will follow.
Mr. Dolan.
Do you have the come in a plane with you? But they will definitely come after 1 or 2 more to come and see.
So how do you know the people have not come?
Okay, guys, can we
if the car was no aid, Liberia is a small village.
Hello, can we follow the discussion here? The newspaper, that's what I will do it, guys. The topic is the government and partners launch $19.4 million project, agro processing center in Grand Bassa County called
I hope it will happen.
This is fun. We go there. It's too many connections, so we'll miss the track. Lefor and Paul, what you guys? Anybody can pick it from here. What do you guys think? We're looking at the good side. It's a good news for the country.
Let me come in.
I'm saying this because we had the same thing with the Kuwaiti were to build some kind of estates in Liberia under when George was.
This African Development Bank and World Bank, for Christ's sake, guys.
You know that the Kuwaiti government came to Liberia.
These are notable institutions.
Okay. Yeah, Paul. Paul, go on.
Yeah. You know, Liberia is not a serious country. What am I saying? Liberia is not a serious country.
Oh my God.
$19.4 million project. It's not free.
Of course,
this is the country that always go behind partners to take money to bring up project, and then the taxpayer end up paying this, and the country does not develop. Good idea. There is a little boy right next door in Burkina Faso that just cleared all his debt, that decided to do the ground thing for his people to benefit. But our people, from nothing we've been dealing with African Development Bank, World Bank. We still the poorest, the 8th poorest on the planet. What will we
Paul, from this? I want to answer the question, Paul.
No, let me finish.
I'll give you. They say a good news or something. Okay, go on.
The idea is good that they'll bring all of these. Listen now, they'll bring all of these jobs. We heard it before because I know something. When the president came to power, he said you are going to get 10,000 RTC jobs. All of these things we heard it before. Now, let me see, who are the partners over there that with the vice president breaking ground here, for Christ's sake?
World
Where
Bank
are they?
World
It's
Bank
a
and
good
African
thing to
Development
say.
Bank.
World Bank and African Development, is it free? It's not free. That's a loan.
Okay, to Paul, nothing is free when you come to a country. The question is, a good thing because you have to pay back. They're not going to Liberia say something. The question is, because my point I'm reaching, I'll go to Linfo on this. Is like a lot of countries have come to, reliable, credible country. Kuwait came in when George was in power. They're going to build millions of dollars. I think early on George we had to build estates in Liberia, and that did not happen. All in the news.
Kuwait.
Yeah. Kuwait came out, was never happy. Whether the government of Liberia or the early government, we did not see anything. Many prophets being happy in the newspaper. We bring these things out to see that these are records. The good is a good news. It's another faking thing on the paper again. Because if you read this, we did read this paper, there's nothing detailed about the story. It's just about what they're going to launch a multi-million-dollar food process, agri-food process in Hammerville in Gramba. That's all more of the story. It's not what I'm going to do, when you're going to start. So a little bit dodgy for me. Linfo, what do you think?
I like when you ask a police question, whether it's a good thing, yes or no. And anyone, yes or no?
No, not that. I'm saying I want you to elaborate. If it's something like, because I'm not like giving a story like, okay, this is nice, the government of Liberia is coming or something nice, then it disappeared.
I remember when we were small kids, our grandparents used to set us down and tell this father story. When they finish telling the Bugume story, then they tell the street father story, and then we feel good. So this is one of the street father story. And if you ask me whether it's good, yes, 100% good idea. Whether it will provide the amount of job they talk about, yes, it could provide jobs. But ask me the other question: will it be implemented? No. And ask me why. No.
Why?
I'll go to some of your examples.
Go on.
Yeah, on our George Town, we saw the Bali Island project. Indian people who saw Seti brother, then they were they were in that
machine in a swamp.
In the swamp, nothing happened. And then we also very Bwakaye, he broke ground all on the road when you were vice president during Ellen Johnson time. Up to now, we know what happened. So hole there. Joe Yakin broke one day Liberia might just have I know what earthquake because of the hole there. Then we can't. If you read the story, you yourself is saying that there's no meat on the boom, on the kind of story, no meat on it. They just say they have launched. Who is the partner? You know who the partner is? If Jima and myself put resources together, we say we're going to open fuller shop. We're going to say fuller bread. Our money inside the partner. But if I get Jima money, I say I credit you. Go and open shop or whatever. You call me partner. I'm not your partner. I'm your creditor. So when I hear friends talking, African Development World Bank, you think that's free? And this is how they tell you. Remember, they want.
Wait, listen, it's free. I'm telling you, the institutions involved. I'm not saying if it was some legal guerre and Liberian government or Federal Liberian government, I would have doubts.
Wait. Let me ask Francis the question. Francis, the question coming directly to you.
But finish the argument. You are making a good point right now. Finish that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but before I'll finish my point. When Francis looking at the money. Yeah, the money will be provided. We agree.
I don't look at money, bro.
But then wait, look here, because you can't tell African
the institutions involved. The institutions involved.
What are they doing? They are providing only the money. Simple. They're not going to go build a factory. You think that what they're going to do? No.
Yes.
Wow. Who told you that? Have you seen the work of the World banking institution that gave her money? Okay, go to where the bigger bank like bro, go take money from them and see whether you take the money. Whether that's
development. Go ahead, then lay your thoughts.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the African Development Bank, you go there, you get your developmental plan. They look at it, it's okay. Yeah, we can give you the money. Whether you do that development, you don't do another business, you already got the money. Simple. They're not coming to you, they say can't go break a ground, put the foundation. No. You own it already. When that time comes, you should pay them. So this money is going, if they'll provide it, it will go straightly to the government of Liberia. It's the government of Liberia that will implement the project. So if I were the editor for the journalist that wrote the story, if I were the editor, the story I'll put on the cross. I'll crucify it, let it die. Because you can't tell me government of Liberia and the World Bank are partner. They are not partner. The World Bank, they are only facilitators. Okay? So, this story is zero. The idea is good.
Thank you very much.
It will not work.
Paul didn't say anything. Paul has left his.
IMF is different. IMF operation is different from the World Bank's operation.
No, the World Bank will not follow you to say, come work here.
Okay, guys. I want to hear from Paul. Paul, did you say something about this story on the screen?
Yeah, Paul spoke. He talked about Burkina Faso.
I said it.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I said it, and Linford clarified what I said. This thing is not no partnership. That loan they're gonna ask for. It's not partnership. They're gonna ask for loan, and they will memorize the thing. Then the people in the country say, "Yeah, plenty of jobs coming." But when that money enter central bank, that in our history, we'll start seeing marshal all over the place from the greedy hunter. So the thing sounds so good and so unique that it will clear a lot of zocos all of the street. There will be employment. It's a good news, but being Liberia since 1847, being here about the partnership, the country can't go nowhere. In my mind, it's just another story that will calm the nerves of people because the government is failing so badly. That's why they're doing this. Nothing else behind it. So they can go to Jupiter, come down, that just fly. They just calm the nerves of people who think they're doing well. You're talking about chicken air. People stay in Liberia, they can't even buy air. So the air factory that we have, so I don't know, we can't make.
No, the government building ship. You saw the picture of the ship.
Guys, I'll come back to that. Gentlemen, listen. One good thing I like about the show, everybody have their own comment to say. I like Francis' position sometimes. Francis is the always there to present the side of the government. He's a soft, the proxy Unity Party spokesperson here. And brother, you want to say something before we close on the topic?
Oh, definitely. Okay. Look, there are several projects in Monrovia, right, in Liberia, matter of fact, that the government of Liberia and the World Bank and African Development Bank are partners in. Partners like, I'll bring 10 million, you bring the 9 million, or you bring that is happening. Most of the road projects that is ongoing, they are partnership, and they are being implemented. So look, it's good that we have these things recorded. We will go back to it, as you said, Jamel. You are a prophet, and over in the next
1 year, we'll look at it in the next 1 year.
You receive this video, and we'll come back to it, and all the naysayers, the doomsayers, will be put as to shame.
Thank you for that's. I will just let you another disclaimer here. Francis is speaking as a person here. He's not the spokesperson for the Unity Party. It's his own opinion, and you also may know Francis to be the most powerful Liberian here in Europe. But it doesn't mean that he's speaking for the FLA when you're on the platform. He's just an individual here. So just right, Francis, am I correct?
You're correct.
Thank you.
President, are you still going to run for the presidency?
You're correct.
Okay, so guys, that's what I like about the show. We all have our own saying. Whatever we say is our personal information we're giving here. We are not representing a party here. It's our own opinion, and we think what we can say what we say. We can be held responsible for our own opinion. It's not any party line, any other thing. But that's what makes the bottom line. They always say, stay connected, stay informed, and get to the bottom line. John, we'll move on to the next discussion tonight. Thank you very much, guys, for coming on this topic. The next one will be this one, guys. For the next one. This is the next one. Oh, sorry, God, sorry about that. This is the next one here. I think this is making news in town. Government accusing Edwin Snow of subversive plans. I think this has been the argument in town. I know this another story, another newspaper. This is from New Dawn newspaper. This is what another newspaper said again. It got the attention of newspaper. This is another news. This is a major head. The government accuses Senator of subversive plans. So you want to overthrow the government. Yeah. So I don't want to go into what did he say. I think most of you who read the paper, I just want you to tell me, what did he say? Is this something that if you make if people say that he's as an opposition, he's interested in the seat, in a higher seat in the country, and many other things, the government may have reasons why he's saying that he had a plan to do that. But guys, I want you to comment on the news. But say if you have news information we don't know, please share with us. The argument here is Snow want to overthrow the government.
So, I mean, just since 11 o'clock, I have to be leaving. Let me just give my view on this.
Okay.
And you want another view I want to give you. Snow was today again clarifying what he said.
Okay.
He appeared on Spoon around April 12th or 13th, thereabout. And was asking questions regarding the government's performance. And he said some good things, he said some bad things. I mean, not negative things. I mean, was not doing well. And he asked Witherspoon asking, "Do you want the government to fail?" He said, "With the proceeding as an opposition, yeah, I wanted to fail, so there would be a one-term government." So that's how then he went on. In my mind, look, the polarization of statements, misconstruing of things in Liberia over the years has brought us to where we are. People want to claim the government job. People want to make present themselves as protecting a particular institution, the government or the presidency. I think this wrong. Snow as a person, as opposition, he has a right to wish this government failure. In that way, in that direction. But I don't think Snow as a person, as part of the government, will want this government to fail. They were asking questions. And I will say this again, over the years, it has been this way. How you say things, who interprets it, this is where we are today. That culture, that it has to change. It has to change.
Okay.
So yeah. So guys, that's it from my
Quickly,
end.
no, you can't drop and leave. We got to take 1 or 2 questions before you go, because the person is this.
You interview me?
No. What did you answer on your question? Yeah, we want to make your comment, clarify on this. He said, Snow said he want the government to fail, so you will be the president. He's the opposition. There's a point. Is that a problem?
He never said he would be the president.
He want to run. He want to run. He
never added that he want to be president. I heard
he want to run. He want to put his name on the ticket. He said in one of the interview.
He did not.
But running doesn't mean he'll be president.
Yeah, but he want to run.
No, Snow did not say that he wanted to run in that particular interview.
But why he want the government to fail then?
So that the government will be a one-term president. That's why
he said he wants the government to be a one-term government.
Who will take over then?
So like people can let new people.
Okay.
Not him. He
Guys,
did not say he wanted to.
It's okay. It's clear. Any question you want to comment on what is before you leave?
Okay, Mark.
Yeah.
No, before I think Francis clarified that. The thing is about this government, let me be bold and honest. It was, you remember George Weah government?
Yeah.
You remember when they started the June 7th protest? And after that came the CPP. The word they were using would make George Weah one-term president. So when Snow said the government should be one-term government, what getting to them? The thing was said in April, around 12, 13 of April. Then the few days the government came out with this. So I said this before. This government is failing because they failing. So what they done now, they go on something they call reload to be seeing all kind of things that they're not doing the job. If you're doing work, the work will show. But if you're not doing work, this is where you get that somebody will write, say they'll write echoes and put nonsense, say, oh, they man want to destabilize the government, he want to overthrow. This is what you get when you're not doing well. If you're doing well, if somebody said they will make you one-term president, the work you're doing will show. But because they're doing so badly, so they're now living on propaganda. They have no agenda. This is what we get. You see, I'm in the opposition. I will pray to that this government fail. Their government fail so we can have a better government because they're doing nothing good. You see, as an opposition.
Can I come in?
Can I come in?
Let Francis make last comment, then we can let him go. He's leaving us.
Oh, no, I'm done. I mean,
all right. Thank you very much. We'll catch you on Friday, Francis. Thank you for being with us.
Definitely, guys.
Okay then. Yeah, Mr. Let's Linfa.
Yeah, let it probably go.
Okay.
Thank you very much. You know, let us start beating around the bush here, to be realistic. Even the sitting president of our country today, when he was campaigning against George Weah, he make a statement that if it was Samuel Dota, he's going to be beyond back. He make a statement. He say, if we didn't win, there will be no government.
There will be no Liberia.
There will be no Liberia. There will be no more Liberia. There will be no Liberia. The old man said that against a sitting government. Nobody arrested him. Nobody put lying here. Nobody write anywhere. You understand what I'm saying? If it was some other time, he's going to be behind the back. So you see, Snow, I got the tip of it when he was talking on the Spoon Network. They asked him, how do you feel about the government? He said the government, the way the government going, and I foresee it failing. And I pray that he should be a one-time government. He should fail and be a one-time government. But he didn't say that we're going to do everything to bring the government down forcibly or whatever. Or we're going to make sure that there'll be no nation if the government is still continuing this way. He didn't make any statement like that.
Yeah, but
we know statement that make a treason statement. We know the treason statement. We know a political statement. They may make a political statement. He's an opposition. He's a politician.
Yeah.
What's the big issue of this thing here?
Okay. Good.
I can tell anybody, your action, your attitude can speak for yourself, for you.
Look, you see.
So, Linfa, you think the statement here is much more sensationalized? Like the government accuses Snow, he wants to
sensationalized is an understatement. Okay. This is pure nonsense, and I don't know which department, which ministry in the government that made the accusation. Is it the Justice Ministry, the executive?
No, information minister wrote. If the information minister that wrote, it didn't wrote.
Government spokesman.
Yeah. So
government spokesman.
This is the dumbest I've ever heard. Now, listen, you are government. You control the security apparatus. If Linfa go say you bring down the government, prepare for Linfa to start. Come for me. Come for me. Don't go accuse me. So who you reporting to? Who you accusing? When you accuse me, who country who can help you? You are the government. So if Edwin Snow say you bring down the government, okay. Wait for Edwin Snow. Prepare for Edwin Snow. Look at the security. You got the military. Got everything. So you start crying. Edwin Snow say, so who will listen to you? You want us to go fight for you? We elected you. We gave you the power. We gave you everything. Do your damn job and start crying because you're not doing anything. So you're looking for sympathy. You think people are going to sympathize with you? Edwin Snow, number one, who got something in Liberia, the KAK or Freedom of Speech Act. Anybody can say anything. Take Edwin Snow to court. Start accusing him. Take him to court. Okay? Freedom of speech. The Kamara's Act. It calls for anybody to say anything. But they will be responsible for what they say. So Edwin Snow say he wants the government to fail so he can run he can run. And I see a great one here. Let me get put it on. She's saying that she heard him say he wants to be president. Fine.
Of course he said.
Yeah, he said it.
I don't know
Yeah,
why this guy said that he didn't say it, because I know that he said he wanted to put a name forward.
No, he said he will. He said so.
He said it.
He said he wanted to run.
Even if the man say he want to be president, that he right. Masaya, I want to be president of Liberia. So is that so first say? I want to be president of Liberia. It's everybody's ambition. When Joe Biden wanted to be president, he said it.
Leave it to after what you're saying. I want you to argue this also. If the government is saying, coming publicly to say that they accuse him of having subversive plan, will you not be inviting him to the police, be your interest to the police?
Yes. Yeah.
You don't think so? You should be doing that before you come and accuse him.
You can't out with these sensational headlines. So you think we'll put our hair out here. Oh, and this no say he want. No, you are government. Stop crying. Do your job. Nobody will feel sorry for you. If you can't make it, leave. Simple as that.
Well, the people take the Ministry of Information serious.
Yeah, Jamal. Jamal.
Yes.
Please allow me to play this. The reason why the government they are failing badly. They're failing badly because they're failing badly. They have nothing to do but to pick on people. So this was an interview carried on by DN News in the market. I want the people to listen. The reason why the government is failing. Let me play this.
The same experience. Market leaking. No buying. At least if they buying from us, we are also able to buy one thing, we face it. But when the money sends the money account, I only get 60. Sends the money.
Send the money. Send the money. You miss the time. 11:26 a.m. When you came here?
I came by 7 o'clock here the morning.
Almost 12 midday.
But I want to tell you, I don't even say it. I just now go back $10 water to drink. $10 water. But you know what? 18 years is serious. Don't wake up left for me. I will not vote because of the people who can listen to them to help us and talk for us. They ain't doing it for us.
Who the people there?
The sponsors from the White House who will encourage us and talk to us to vote to bring the Papa in power. Now, we accepted it. From today onward, we see him again talking to the Papa for him to see our country streaming ourselves in the market, the system. So tell me, send the money. What time we get money to buy, to go for the children? We single parent.
How many children you get?
I get 3. Single parent. No.
Everything hard in the market leaking.
The market, I see the market leaking. All the leaking.
So, this is the point Snow is making, that the government is failing. Because they're failing, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. So, there must be one-term government. And that's the reality. So, because they know the one-term government, they're now going after Snow because Snow have this thing that he want to contest. That's all. The government is failing.
Paul, let me get add. You know, the government is playing hard for nothing. The people who elected you, they are telling you what is happening to them. Instead of you pay attention to them, when the market people talk, for you to listen, you Jeremy Mepia, you the information minister, for you to take the message to the president, you there accusing people. Okay, grab Edison, put him in jail now. Say he planning subversion, put him in jail. Let's see whether that will increase the volume of trade, whether the market will mean when Edison in jail now, whether the market will be making money. You know, they don't go for the real thing. They want to go, and the person or drowning man will always look when somebody drowning. Let me advise you today. When somebody drowning, in as much as you want to help save that person, don't grab them. Be careful because they'll grab you and they'll carry you under the water. That's what the government is doing. They are looking for any kind of way now. Anybody thought they say, oh, that also will fail. Can't go with us. You see it? So instead of then listening to the people and do what the people say, they're listening to politicians. Opposition will always look for the downfall of the next government, whether in a good way or a bad way. So Snow is saying the only way Snow can have chance to run is when the government fail, and then they'll say, yeah, we want new person. So what you want Snow to say? So Geraldine Mepier, go sit and play from Piggy. See, that they join a distance. That they join a distance. We're talking about Geraldine Mepier.
Is that what you call them?
Yes,
Join the
Jima,
list.
so they say, oh, I want the government to pass, so when I go contest, they can beat me. What kind of sense in it? I want to see performing badly.
Yeah. Every opposition want the guy in charge to fail so he can succeed. Of course. That's the fight. So yeah, I think the government should find somewhere to
Let me make one statement before we go. There's something here. Jamal, let me make some statement here. You know, United Partisan, they're getting very angry because the way things are, it's just a body inside them. They don't know what to say. That this government, they push on people. For the person that have the most experience, over 50-year governmental experience, that even cannot even manage than the novice that we have, George Weah. What does that tell you? This is why I'm getting them so angry that if you put the two, George Weah and Joseph Nima Baka down, George Weah management skill is far better than the men who get 50 years experience. And this is the truth. See, the noise makers that today go and bow, because you know those guys in their 40s. Because tomorrow, when they kick them out, these guys will be begging. So they're doing everything possible to silence people. That's what this young minister is doing.
Okay.
If you doing the work of the people, it will show. They're not doing it. I just want to throw that in there. And this is it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. If you just joined, I want to take a quick break. They will come back. The last news on tonight, it will be the International Maritime Organization. Liberia is trying to want a re-election. They want to have a second seat for another 2 years. But then I will take a quick break and come back. We'll bring in the last topic tonight. It will be the IMO, the International Maritime Organization. We'll talk about it. We've got an expert on the show tonight. It's Lynn for Boy. We'll tell you more about what IMO stands for, what Liberia has to benefit. So let's go for a commercial break. We'll come back. And thanks for joining us. Please share the show. This is Tibon Liberia.
Di Lorenzo, G Grace. Hems vocal, Liberia number one vocal, Liberia number one, right? Okay.
The phrase, a new sheriff is in town, does not only belong to law enforcement. How about the introduction of Liberia's premier vodka, a quality and customized liquor for all occasions? Try the flavor of your choice. Hems Vodka, Hems Honey, Hems Bitter, and Hems Original Vodka. Hems Vodka has no hangover. That's why they say Papa drank Mama happy. Hems Vodka is sold in all stores, shops, supermarkets, and entertainment centers in Liberia. For wholesale, contact Hems Vodka at 0777 001114, 0777 000-979. We can also be reached via social media on Facebook and IG at Hems Vodka or www.hensvodka.com. In the United States, please contact Hems North America Incorporated at 610-543-9289, 484-888-1622, 484-755-8411. Hems Vodka is approved by the U.S. federal government. Hems Vodka brings out the real man in you.
I tell you in my boy and my blood. Every time when I stay on the block, everybody knows it. We husband. And forgot that number one. Oh, from Liberia all around. In supermarket store and everywhere. And forgot that number one. Oh.
Thank you very much for joining us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you join us, so thank you very much for joining us. We want you to share the show. We're always here every Tuesdays and Fridays. Same time, same place. My colleagues are always taking care. I'm always here once in a while. So we want to say thanks for joining. Always subscribe and share the show. We want you to be part of this. Anytime we come on, we'll give you whatever we have. We don't quote, we're not sugarcoat it. We always say as it is. This is why we make it bottom line. We always say here, stay informed, stay connected, and get the bottom line. Once again, we're coming to you from the middle of Europe. Central Europe as well as mainland Europe, whatever you are. Last tonight on our news part review tonight will be, we're going to be talking about IMO, the International Maritime Organization. That's about Liberia has been part of it for over years. So tonight, Liberia want to re-election. This is the topic tonight here. Liberia, you say official campaign launch re-election to IMO Council Category A. This IMO stands for International Maritime Organization Council. You will wonder why this story is important to us. Sometimes people say, why this story is important to these guys? Liberia has more than 5,000 ships sailing under the Liberian flag. 5,000, the only African country around the world. You'll see some ships around with Liberian flag on it. And it's being registered on a Liberian name. So it's probably don't know the importance. Tonight, to discuss this, to tell them more about what it's all about, the guy who specializes in maritime affairs is one of our own renowned Liberian journalists, also a maritime specialist. Linford, where we tell her more about. Linford, I'll ask you questions. My colleague will also want to ask, or they have an idea. Tell them more about what IMO stands for. Why Liberia want re-election to IMO Council Category A? What is IMO? What the benefit Liberia gets, and why we want, and where does IMO sit? Where's the headquarters? Please tell those who probably don't follow. Let us know, please.
Okay, I don't know if I should make a little disclaimer.
Okay.
This is impromptu. Despite the fact that I study maritime, and that's my area.
Okay.
The maritime world is very dynamic. Maritime world is changing every minute as we speak. There are a lot of new rules that are being made as we speak now. Replacing ones that have been in power or in existence for a few days or a few months ago. So it's a very dynamic industry. But notwithstanding, the principle of the maritime world remains the same. You asked, what does the IMO mean? It means the international. The I there is international, the M is maritime, and the O is organization. And that body is charged with the responsibility of overseeing all maritime countries and their activities. And that body also regulates certain conventions. And I don't want to go into details of a lot of conventions.
Yeah, but Linford, just quick question. When you say maritime, they have to do with shipment, right? That's what I want you to clarify, because most people don't know what maritime is.
Maritime is a broad, area. Shipping is just a set of a section of maritime. You got like marine life that involves fish, the fishes in the water, the different things, even the kids meat we eat. They are part of the marine life. The maritime also deals with that. The maritime includes the sea, the water that we have. Even that Do River you see is part of the maritime world. Okay, vessels, which the thing we call ship, the vessels, they are just the transportation means of the maritime. But maritime can also include even the trees, those shrubs that grow up under the water, the I call it the mangrove farms in the Do River. They are all part of the maritime industry. So maritime is a vast area, but shipping is just a portion of it. So
okay, just stay there. I think my colleagues want to add something. We want to say something, Paul or Mr. Dolly. Just to let you know, I think that should be Ambassador Robert Wilmot Bade, standing right here. If you just join your, he is the ambassador. I think he's what live for the maritime IMO headquarters. It should be in London, right?
Yeah, the maritime headquarters is in London. I've been there, I think, twice. That was early time, I think, because I was in London studying. I was in Southampton studying from 2007 to 2012. So we made 2 different visits. And unfortunately, I don't know whether it was Acid or who was there at that time. Not Acid or this attorney at law, the Sharp guy that I admire so much. Okay. I don't know whether it was him who was there, but we the first time we visited there, I was so disappointed. And let me admit the fact today, I was so disappointed coming from Liberia and going to the RMO, my school. The first time we went there I was still in Norway in 2008. 2007, studying shipping, and then since we were supposed to go, my whole class was supposed to graduate from Norway and was supposed to go to Southampton because they had come from Southampton University to recruit all of us. So we went there ahead. Before going there, we took a trip, the whole class. So one of the places we went was the IMO headquarters. We went to Clarkson, different areas. So one of the areas we went was the IMO headquarters. And knowing fully well that Liberia is a member of the IMO, is sitting on that, board. So I was happy that I'll go and meet my own representative to the IMO. But when we went there, the desks were empty. The desk for Liberia was totally empty.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and all my friends, I was so shy because I didn't know what to say. Why excuse could I keep? And the thing is, I didn't see any office to see, even if I can talk to a secretary. You will see the desk with Liberia regionally, but nobody there. So,
Okay.
and that was it.
Okay, quickly. The Liberian folks said, Paul gave me time to speak, and Mr. Doll as well. Just a little bit of background information here. Liberia is a permanent member mission we had a permanent mission to the International Maritime Organization, which is IMO, in London, in the United Kingdom. It headed by Ambassador Robert Wilmot Brade. He launched a re-election of Liberia yesterday to be Liberia to be elected. Re-election campaign yesterday to be category 10. In category A it means there are 10 countries in the world that are in that categories that are powerful countries. So the 10 states are named before with the largest interest in providing the national shipping services. These 10 nations they are from the China, Greece, Italy, Japan, Liberia, Norway, Panama, Republic of Korea, United Kingdom, and the United States. Liberia is the only African nation in that category. So, Paul, you in the Court of King James, you're in London where the IMO head office is. Probably have questions you want to comment on. What do you think the IMO? What's the benefit you think you guys know about IMO being to Liberia?
Well, the thing is, I'll throw this to Linford though, because he have the experience. So in re-election, when Liberia elected before, and if they were elected before, what a role of this being the head of this body? How long does it take? A year, 2 years, 5 years? If you are elected to lead the IMO, so just talk to us.
I think it's every year, Paul. 2026 or 2027. It's
every year.
Yeah, every year.
So now the category A that you talk about, Jamal, is Liberia part of that A because we know other.
Okay.
It's the only A. So,
okay.
I mean,
well, I will throw light on your question.
Right.
Liberia is a member of the IMO. Every year, there are certain countries that are elected to that particular council. All shipping countries are members of the IMO, but there are category of countries that are elected to certain council. Okay, they are like it's based on. I think I'll try my best to give you the qualification of those countries. Those Liberia right now is in category A. Okay, and category A has to do with countries that are providing some international shipping services. Now, if you notice Liberia runs an open registry. Open registry, most people think that is like a common because they get the traditional registry where they got a lot of rules. They got a lot of do this, don't do this. Your ship shouldn't be this. Your ship should meet this criteria. Your staff and a lot of rules. So there are some countries that relax the rules, and those countries run what we call the open registry or the flag of convenience. They reach a lot of agreement with countries. So Panama is the first country leading with I think some almost 6,000-7,000. I haven't checked their latest data, but presently Liberia runs number 2 to Panama. Liberia runs number 2 to Panama with a total of 4,400 ships that are registered on Liberia right now as we speak. Okay, the number can increase, it can drop sometime. It's not constant.
Linford, I want you to speak in layman simple to the fact. People that may be interested in what you're saying. Flags, ships that carry Liberian flags that are registered to Liberian, they are on a Liberian name. What does that mean? They are Liberian ships, or they just registered Liberian name on a Liberian name?
Okay, thank you very much.
Simple, because
those ships are not owned by Liberians.
Okay.
Good. And let me just throw one joke that one of our teachers said one time. It says ships are like women, right? You born your daughter here, then in London, then one man come from way Singapore and come marry your daughter and carry her there and change your name. You see it? So ships are built in different countries. That same ship, somebody will buy it and carry it to a different country. Then somebody will go there and take that ship and go run it on contract in different country. So ships are the same thing I was talking the last time about establishing my logistic company. I don't need to own ship. I can borrow somebody's ship. Once I get my company, I say I get a contract, but give me your ship. We'll do contract, something we call contract. Okay. So, but to answer your question, those ships are not owned by Liberia. Liberia does not own one ship anywhere in the 4,400 fleet. No. But those ships are registered by contract under LESCA, the Liberia ship registry. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
What the flag they're carrying? Sorry, boss.
Yeah, so they are carrying our flag, but by right. Okay, to answer your question, yes or no, by right, as long as they carry our flag, yes, they are Liberian ship. Because in case of any accident, the first person they contact is LESCA, the country, because LESCA is our representative, is the one using our flag, to run that company. And LESCA is not a Liberian company, so it's one American guy, one ex-Marine guy who established that in long time, in 1945 or something like that. Okay, so LESCA will be contacted if our ship is involved in any accident. Okay, so that by nature makes that flag, that ship or Liberian ship, but it's not owned by Liberian government, but not by anybody. No.
Okay, Linford, Paul, I'll give you another question on what you asked.
So,
go on, Paul.
Linford, can you clarify this? If if the ship is carrying a country flag, although it's not owned by that country, so in case of this organization that is established that the report, so what the role of that organization? Because they're not the owner. Like for example, British have a lot of ship, or they carry country flag because they're trying to avoid paying heavy taxes, or what? What's the logic behind it? That I'm the ship builder, and then different country carrying the flag.
Okay. See, business people make business to make profit, like I said before, earlier on in this program. So I buy my ship. I'm looking for the best way to make profit. Then I come to Great Britain. Great Britain does not run what we call open registry or flag or convenience. They go straightly by the rules. My ship must be this, that, I should go by the book. Not that the open registry is avoiding some of the rules, but they got their own rules too. They say, look, listen, why the conventional ship, registries are having maybe 50 rules, we can have 30 rules. It will still be the same to stand up, but we're not putting all that string on you. Okay, like for example, some of the strings that they can, the conventional shipping registries can put on the ship owner or the shipping company is at least 50% of your staff should be people employed from your own country. But Liberia will say no, you can employ other people, but just register your ship under us and pay. So they are paying rent to Liberia, to the Liberian government through LESCA, okay, for using our flag. So this is the benefit, because he asked about benefit to Liberia. That's the benefit we get by carrying our flag, then they pay us. So that ship is registered under our name. It's not for us, not for the country. And I want to also doubt that if any country, like say any country owns a ship in a fleet of ships that are going on sea, no. Countries get a warship, there are, other ships like their coast guard ships and whatever. But commercial ships, I don't see any country that owns commercial ships. No, there are business people who own those ships. Ships are just like taxi. Somebody can buy and you go to somebody else to run it. You just sit down home and enjoy while the person running and reporting to you. So
Thank you, Lifa. Lifa, quickly, there's an offer right there on the. Do you read? There's an offer for you right there.
We discussed that one.
Okay, then. Quickly, Lifa, I think Paul, we will recognize some people that just came on the show. Before we go there, I have a question for you. Paul, will you want to recognize some people that have been part of the show tonight? They've also been sharing the show that came to watch us.
Wow, yes. We had David R. Gwen, Phil Doherty Jones, Dilala, we have Batiki here, Fedekete is here. My own sister Beatrice Chilupi also following us tonight. Well, thank you for following. And who else I can see? The others are on Jala TV. I'm not seeing the names, but those are the names. Leave off wherever you're in.
I see just about the same people you see. I see Diallo, Phil Degonti Jeans, and David Goe, and of course Bataki and Felikate, and a few other people who a lot of people appear on my dashboard, but I can't see that name because when I share the show, like
also people, a lot of people also watching from YouTube.
Yeah. They follow me on the Costa show, so I can see it, but their names can't come to me because they follow me on the Costa show or any other people's show. I share it in different groups. Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I have a question for you.
That's a lot of questions.
Yeah, and I want a big thank you to people like Betaki and Shadela Brown. These are my two favorite followers. They've been all there for the years. So we want to say, wherever you join us from, if you don't call your name, we will recognize your person. Thank you for sharing the show. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you watch us, this is Liberian. This is Mr. Robert Wilmot Pade. That's on the screen. He's the Liberian permanent ambassador to the IMO. That is the International Maritime Organization, which Liberia is a permanent member. And this organization deals with I think policies regarding regulation regarding shipping and stuff like that has to do with sea. We got over 4,000 ships on the register on Liberian flags that you will see Liberian flag on ships all around the world. This brother is the one handling the affairs from London. For why Liberia is one African country so attracted to these countries shining over country? Why not other African country? Why Liberia? This puzzles me. Why Liberia?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know why Liberia, but I would say Liberia because Liberia, and don't get this wrong, there are several countries like Liberia who have open registry, but in everything, even if you play football, you always see that the 11 players that are playing on one side and on the other, the 22 players on the field, there's somebody who is always shining among the people, and that's why you have Messi, Ronaldo, and Lamine Yami, and all the people. So somebody just got to shine on the field. So Liberia happens to be, and I think that comes from way back from 1945, 47 to 48 when LISCA was first established. So they have gone a long way, and I think they've done a good job, by registering the ships, and then our ships. Liberia, I think ships that carry Liberian flag are some of the most respected ships around the world because LISCA makes sure that if there's any problem with the ships carrying their flag, they intervene very fast, they settle the problems and stuff like that, and they keep the rules. And so that's why. And so the same question could be, why is Panama always ahead of Liberia? Liberia tried, but Panama is always ahead. So I think it has to do with a good job you do with the recommendation and stuff like that. And I just want to throw a little bit more light on the IMO rule. The IMO, if we should equate it to any other organization, would be like FIFA. In London, you got the FA, you got all these small different football organizations, but they are controlled by FIFA or bigger canopy. So the IMO is for all these small countries, whether you're running open registry or you are the conventional registry, so they all fall under the IMO. And it's the IMO that will decide on conventions. Okay, let's do this, and this is the rule, this rule should be followed. And there are certain conventions that can even be totally scrapped and replaced by a new convention. So the IMO has that power to to convene, and that's why they got the countries. And if you see Liberia being in category A, because Liberia provide international shipping services, that is, we do not only provide we do not only allow ships to carry our flag, we also provide manpower, that is service. Okay, that would Liberia provide a lot of seamen. But one of the disadvantages, I've been expecting that you guys will ask me this question: what is Liberia benefiting? Somebody asked that. We are benefiting, but we are also losing a lot. You know that Liberia, being the second largest registry, we should have manpower from our country on every ship that carry our flag, at least 20 to 25% of the manpower. When I was in school, I had the Indian boys and Chinese boys who used to joke me. They say, "My man," and we're in the same class, right? And those boys are beyond sea. Even a boy from Ghana is called Charles. I still remember his name, Charles. He said, "My man, but in your country, we got Chinese, we got Indians." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Oh, those boys got your passport. They on the same ship with me." Can you imagine how many Liberians are on those ships? You see, and when we talk, we say you're supposed to put people in position that know small thing about the area that they're going to, occupy. People say, "Oh no, that management, you can put anybody there." You see, so like we shouldn't be having 4,400 ships under our flag, practically belonging to us, that we can make a rules for them. We can set the rules for them, but we got a lot of unemployed people. This will have something like Liberia Maritime Academy. I don't know whether it stayed there.
Yeah, Liberia Maritime Institute. Yeah, go on.
So those people who are trained there, where are they? Are they on the ships? So I don't understand. So why do you have Chinese and Nigeria, or what you call it, Indians and all the kind of people carrying our flags when we train our own people and they're not working? But then when you talk, they say, "Oh no, you can put anybody anywhere. They ain't gotta be in that from that era. You can take one John Bryan being finance minister, he ain't gotta know anything about finance or whatever." So this is the country we have.
Thank you. Paul, any question for Linford?
I think Linford, because I know you visited the maritime office here, is there any way that you can reach out to somebody who can have them on this program for some clarity? Maybe the man who is
I think Paul, he is closer to you than Linford because he's in London.
The reason why
if I can reach you, but we are now.
No, I know the number 2 person at Maritime. I can reach out to that person, but I will find out. But I thought Linford have that connection with the father, so it would make it much easier.
Father and I are friends on Facebook, or general friends. We do not have. I could reach out to him,
or you could reach out to the former Maritime boss, Asa Jackson.
Asa Jackson.
Yeah.
No, let's speak to. Let's speak to the most. Asa has been one of our guests a couple of times. Let's speak to because he's right now, not far from. I think got someone who knows Mr. Paddy. Reach out to him, see if he can come. Paul, there's a question.
So the reason being because if Liberia want to be re-elected, so it's something good for the country, so he can tell us when they are re-elected, what are the benefits that they bring to the country of being the head for that 1 year, something that we need to know. Whether it's good for our nation, like the way we had a display of the 19.4 million of this partnership, they're going to bring 56,000 jobs. So if Liberia is re-elected, with Liberia get incentive being re-elected or what? So we want to know. It's a good news. We know Liberia is also fighting to be permanent member, not permanent, but the Security Council, not permanent member. They're fighting hard to get it. So all of these things that they're fighting hard to get, with that solve the bread and butter issue in Liberia is something that we need to know.
I think Paul is got a good concern. What I do know for sure, and I have to research again, is whether Liberian being elected, if Liberia is elected to the category or to that council, whether they get paid for that. But what I do know is that they sit on that committee or on that council and make decisions. You see, by right, Liberia is a member of the IMO. That one nobody can doubt it. There is no argument about that. But to sit on this council where you be there to make decisions is where the question lies. what does Liberia gain sitting on this council? Or is it just to be on that council that, that it's like you are elected as well, speaker, or not speaker, representative, right? You are lawmaker for that 6 years. Unless your people say they want you, but for that 6 years, you are lawmaker. But to be on a committee, that's what we're talking about here, So all the countries around the world that got all the registries, or the members of the IMO, not all of them are privileged to sit on this council. And that's why Liberia stands a good chance, because Liberia, among the 10 countries that are in category A, Liberia is there. See? So, and by virtue of the fact that Liberia provides something very special that the other members do not provide, that is maritime services. So Liberia stands a chance.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you, Linfo. We would love to have Mr. Kwade. Thank you for that input, Linfo. So there are questions. I put a newspaper up here. It's not about the hairline, but there another one while we're talking about marine sector, the Liberia maritime affairs. Look at the liberalizing the maritime sector. You see, the marine sector. Sorry, liberalizing the marine sector. If you see the caption at the bottom, we will be talking there. If you have a guest coming, we are fast spent. We don't want to go too far. We'll be wrapping up very soon. But the issue is, I don't know. I'm not a student of marine, but there's something like you have something called marine pilot. They got tow masters, tow master, those who have the tow boat and stuff like that. Liberia don't have those. Liberia does not have those people trained. A lot of them we don't have. Like Linfo was saying, why is it that Liberians are not on those ships? We should be providing the manpower. It could be like we don't have the skill set to work on those ships. And the Liberian Maritime Authority should be able to put this to what issues we have. If we have the guests to be, and Linfo has helped to make some clarification here, we need to know more. Right, Paul?
Yeah. So I think we should reach out to Maritime here in London, and then I will try and reach out to somebody that I know in there to see if we can we'll tell them, say it will not be political, because when they come on this platform, they get afraid that because their government is failing, they don't want to appear to look bad. So we'll tell them it's not political, just to educate the public on the role of this set of good news that is coming, and how do we benefit? So on
Facebook, I'll try to see if I can text him. If he answers me, then we'll start from there. So I'll try to do that between now and Thursday. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I'll try.
So once again, that was said, we're looking at the Liberian re-election to the IMO, that's International Maritime Organization Council. Why is it important to Liberia? Category A. I'm going to 10 states that are running the all maritime, the shipping business, all have to do with the sea. Around the world, Liberia is on that seat, and then we have about 4,000 plus ships on our Liberian flags. The importance of why is it that the marine sector in Liberia is not being developed? Sometimes these are the questions, and many other questions will be coming up. So we want to say a big thank you to all those. I would go around my colleagues if they have their, a last comment to make before we wrap up from here. I want to say a big thank you for all those who will be joining us tonight, and I'll go to Linfo from Paul. Then we'll wish you a pleasant Tuesday night. Linfo.
Well, I just want to say that it was a good show. We covered, or usually we start with the international, and we did talk about the situation in Palestine. We did with Israel. We did talk about the Ukrainian war and how European countries are now trying to get involved. Germany pledging, support weapon-wise and stuff like that. And then we talk about the local news, of course, and the good news that our government has signed 9.4 million.
19.4.
Launched 9.4 million.
19.4.
Oh, 19.4. Oh, 19.4 million dollars of processing project. And you see, we're just talking about maritime, right? And I said maritime is a vast area. Now, at the free port of Monrovia, if you all remember when we were all kids, there was something that they established. I think it was during Tower time, called it Liberia Free Zone Authority, right?
Yeah.
They said that.
And you know the purpose of that thing. All good ports around the world have that. That is, every raw material that is leaving your country to go through that port should be manufactured right there to add value, and that process will generate certain amount of money that is totally different from ships that are calling in at your port and leaving. Okay.
Yeah.
But I would have thought that the government would be looking at that, but they're thinking about establishing something else. But that would be a different day. And that was one of the things we talk about. And then we talk about the maritime sector. Look, let me tell you, the maritime sector alone, we can raise a lot of money from that place. That place you see, that port. We could serve as a hub where goods coming to us through our port can be distributed to Ghana, not Ghana, Guinea, and all the other countries that are landlocked. Okay, we could do that. And it used to be a long time before. I remember when I was small boy, I grew up on a highway to Kagata, between Kagata and Moroyo, or Jake Melton's farm. They used to have these trucks that used to come from these small tankers, tankers. They call them they used to call them the Guinea cowboys, right? Those guys will travel from Guinea through, I think, I don't know which road they used to take to enter Liberia. Those guys can. They're so dirty that when they talk, the only time you know that human being, when they talk, you see that white tea. But they, when you hear you tell the Guinea cowboy that from that place come from, they used to come for a few. The thing when they come in, so now 20 of them inland. They will come and take fuel and carry to in Guinea. Okay, and there was something called transshipment at that port where goods coming can be taken to Guinea and all the other countries. But those happening and all that money, shipping is very expensive. That money, everything about shipping is money. You say hello in shipping, say that money, but we're losing on it. So we hope that we'll be here on Friday, like our colleague said, we can find some experts in the maritime industry to come and discuss the issue with us as well.
Lord, water play.
Yeah, thanks, guys, and to our audience. It was a good show tonight. I really enjoyed the conversation on the international scene. I think we did well making the comparison between the war in Ukraine and the one that's happening in Gaza, the hypocrisy of the West that decided to take one side and then support the other side. And we went to the Edwin Snow situation that the government now is jittering because their performance is so poor that if somebody say, I want a government to be a one-term government, now they have to treat treasonal word. So I was here sitting now in my little corner in London. I want a government to fail so my party can win tomorrow. So that means I will be the information minister going to read me too because I said I want a government to fail. Could you imagine that? So where is the freedom of speech? They're taking that away. We were behind George. We are saying he knew nothing. He was incompetent, and we wanted to make him one-term president, and he was. So this experienced government that failed so badly, they now should be one-term government for the betterment of Liberia. That's how I see it. So they should leave Edwin Snow alone and then let them do their work. And they can go on their, how they call it, reloading that they have because they have nothing to do. They're getting 15,000 a month, sitting on reloading, not telling us what they achieve. But we know that they're getting a loan to build what they call processing plant. Well, I'll get
agro processing plant in Bassa.
Agro-processing plant.
What do you grow into process? You're not growing
cassava, potato, whatever you think about.
Yeah, and it'll be supplying everyone in the whole West Africa region. But then JFK does not have drugs. They cannot address the situation. And they also cannot address the thing that kids not going to school because it's setting cold water. Their parents don't have money. Maybe the 56,000 jobs that it will bring, we alleviate all that. So we're looking forward to that. But gentlemen, it was a good show.
Thank you very much. Thank you once again. Thank you for wherever you join us from. We said this is the Borderline Bureau. Welcome again to the Borderline. We want to see you on Friday. You are a concise source of navigating through a daily newspaper. We always cut through headlines to deliver the essential stories, key development, critical analysis from across Liberian newspaper. Whether you are tracking political development, economic trends, or social issues, we distill the day's most important inquiries into digestible insight that matter to inform citizens and observers of Liberian interest. Stay informed, stay connected, get to the bottom line. Have a pleasant evening. Good night. Paul, take us through. What's the music?
Di Lorenzo, G Grace. Hems vocal, Liberia number one vocal. Liberia number one, right? Okay.
The phrase, a new sheriff is in town, does not only belong to law enforcement. How about the introduction of Liberia's premier vodka, a quality and customized liquor for all occasions? Try the flavor of your choice. Hems Vodka, Hems Honey, Hems Bitter, and Hems Original Vodka. Hems Vodka has no hangover. That's why they say Papa drink, Mama happy. Hems Vodka is sold in all stores, shops, supermarkets, and entertainment centers in Liberia. For wholesale, contact Hems Vodka at 0777 001114, 0777 000-979. We can also be reached via social media on Facebook and IG at Hems Vodka or www.hensvodka.com. In the United States, please contact Hems North America Incorporated at 610-543-9289, 484-888-1622, 484-755-8411. Hems Vodka is approved by the U.S. federal government. Hems Vodka brings out the real man in you.
I tell you in my core and my blood. Every time when I stay on the block, everybody knows it. We hustle.